Oh my goodness. Wow.
He might call. Or he
Wow.
folded.
Welcome everyone. It is that time. It is GGMillion's time. I got my man Bryan Paris, known as B Paris Poker, on as the guest today. Again, legend of the game, and we're gonna have a fun day today. You can see the live earnings, but more known for your online, the second ever to reach 10 million earnings. As you mentioned, I think we were talking a little bit before, maybe 30 people have done that now or more to reach
It's
10
a lot
million.
now, but
or a lot,
back in
because on GG in particular, a lot. But at the time, you were the second. I think Mormon was the first, or
Mormon was
number
first,
two
I was second, yeah.
Yes, to ever cross 10 million in earnings, and has played a lot. You got a lot of things you're doing these days. We're going to cover that during the show, including your course. But first, we're going to dive into the stream for today. And of course, this man is hot on the list as he is chip leader today, and he did take a win for the third time on the GG Millions last week, as we will see a hand from last week with 4 final tables and 3 wins. I mean, this is pretty incredible stuff to win 3 out of 4 times and then find yourself as chip leader again at the final table. So we'll be keeping a close eye on what he is doing. And here's a look at the winning hand from last week with Queen 10 in position and covering by a fair amount. So going to come in for a limp off of this stack depth. And Queen 10 off. Tell me about limping call off here, kind of pros and cons of playing this way. Maybe
pretty standard, I think. So you want to open limp the vast majority of your range here at 14 effective. You can't really raise full very much, so you mostly just play limps. You limp almost everything. And then your opponent's supposed to jam with a lot of like weak ace X offsuit. There it is, king X offsuit. So Queen 10 expects to be basically flipping here. And you can't fold hands like this really. It's not an incredible hand or anything, but it's pretty standard to limp call off here for 14, and then he hits a 10 on the river.
Yeah, that is going to do it, and that is a look at the winning hand. And yeah, maybe take a second to explain about that with the different stack sizes, and at what point would you say the Queen 10 off becomes a limp call off? Where does it get close?
I think once you get to maybe like 20 and up, you start thinking about folding it. But for 20 and under, it's plenty good enough to limp call. The key is just that you're limping so many hands that Queen 10 is actually fairly high up in your range. Like the main key to heads up at that short stack depth is just not folding the button very much. So you wind up limping with a lot of trash, like 10-5 offsuit and hands like that. So your opponent's pretty heavily incentivized to shove. The other key is that when he shoves, rather than raising non all in, it kind of eliminates a lot of the hands that dominate you. So you expect to see a lot of like ace X offsuit, king X offsuit, and like low pocket pairs, and you're basically flipping against all those hands.
Very, very nicely done. So yeah, pretty standard there. Great point. You are going to be limping and have a ton of worse hands. So Queen 10 off kind of high up. And I guess what is the bottom you expect of the player there to shove? He shoves the weak aces, but what is he going to do with Jack 10 or some of these other hands?
Jack 10, I would imagine checks. I think for 14, he might even be shoving hands like, King 5 and things like this. So you don't expect to actually be ahead that often with Queen 10, but basically you're just getting the right odds to call and try to flip there.
Got it. And we see, again, the all-time ranking. Pretty exciting that we do see Simon Matson, I think, as a short stack today. Does have 4 titles. Anyone on this list that jumps out at you, any of the stats here that you would say are surprising or impressive or that shock you?
Nothing's really shocking. This is just kind of a who's who of the top names and high-stakes MTTs. All these guys are very impressive players. All of them have incredible resumes. And I guess the titles to final tables ratio for Marek Trojan is pretty impressive. He's won a quarter of the time he's made the final table, which is like a really high percentage.
Yeah, for sure. Also 90 cashes leading across the board in every category, actually just completely dominating this. I haven't seen him on for a bit. Not sure if he hasn't been making it to the end or maybe just taking a little bit of a break of online poker, because we haven't seen him at a final table for a little bit of a stretch with such a dominant performance. But of course, there's variance, and then there's also just, it's going to take a break now and again. Looks like he never did take much of a break, as he has got so many entries, so many results. And we are seeing here again Simon, who is in good form. He is down from the top spot, but he is also with earnings and being in the mix, putting himself in position yet again. He has 2 final tables and a title, and looking to add to that resume, as well as the prizes are out. 326 to first and 46,000 to ninth. The sort of stacked prizes, not a huge gap, obviously, going to the the final. It's going to be a 70K heads-up match. No deal making available. Jumps are pretty standard. Anything in that jump make a noteworthy to look at?
It looks pretty standard to me. I guess it's a little bit flat between like third and first. Usually first is closer to double third. So maybe a little bit flatter jumps than normal. But I guess it's pretty standard for a smaller field tournament.
Yeah, I think that checks out as well. As we see the appearances here. Crazy stuff when you've played this tournament for over 4 years of your life, every Sunday entering this. And that is, again, appearances, not total entries. And he does have a very high stat there with 28 final tables and winning about 1 in 7 times, and finds himself on 13 blinds. But again, maybe if you're looking at the odds, right, for a player to get a good price, someone with that kind of experience, if you are able to double or chip up a little bit, he is going to be know how to finish it off. So Simon there, again, in a good, I don't want to say good spot, but 13 blinds, plenty to play with, knows how to play that stack. And what do you, when you're the shortest and you enter a final table, risk premium lowest, what are some things you look to kind of do as a short stack when you make these type of final tables?
Well, you're first looking to make a couple of jumps, ideally, and then from there you want to double and kind of play. But the main key is just survival. I mean, I've seen people make incredible comebacks from even like 3 big blinds at final tables. So you don't want to panic. You don't want to take too bad of a spot. You can last for a while off 14. Try to make a couple of jumps first.
Great point. As we see the Brazilian today, Depa Tudim, who is a little bit of a new face on GG in general, and here we will not have seen him before, but his first appearance, first cash, first final table, and we'll see if he can check all the ones off the box. But a guy like this, again, Bryan, when you come in and all these other players have experience with each other, they're regulars, they've seen each other, they know a bit about them. What is it as an unknown? What are you looking to do here if you're Depa Tudim? How can you maybe leverage your being unfamiliar? What do you think, maybe a little more aggressive? People may think you're going to be passive. Is that a good strategy?
I was going to say you probably want to be a little bit more aggressive and maybe just go right at these guys, because they're not going to expect you to be taking too many spots if you're only have 200K cashes and it's your first big final table. They're probably going to be trying to put a lot of pressure on you. So if you can kind of put that back on them and be willing to go at them light, that might be an advantage for him.
Absolutely. As we see Boyka here, someone who's not unknown. He has 3 wins already here, 160 appearances, and does cash over 20% of the time. A lot of earnings on GG, and has a starting stack at 35 big blinds. Also Belarus Live, 3rd all time, and in good form there with a nice score in Triton. How much have you played with Boyka?
I've played with him online a little bit, but I haven't been playing on GG for the last year or so. So I haven't seen him too much, but I'm definitely familiar with the name, and that's a very impressive resume, particularly live in a tournament like the Triton Super High Roller. I mean, that's a tough tournament.
For sure. Yeah, he's willing to mix it up, play a live and online. Has the lucky panda there with some bamboo, feeling himself for a shot today. 35 blinds. I think when we see these stack sizes, there's not a lot of really short stacks. I mean, you can see he's in, what's that, 7th place, and he's got 35 big. So we should see a lot of play today, and it's kind of wide open. I think it's really up for the grabs on the taking on who wants to win today. It's who's going to go for it. As we do go over to Oliver Weiss, another regular. He has won before, 50 times on this entering, and he has been here. We've watched him 6 times, seen him a fair amount, maybe in the more recent times as well. Similar stack, 36 blinds, and plays live as well. Have you played live with him before?
I haven't played live with him. I know maybe at VPTs, but I've definitely played online with him, and that's a very impressive cash ratio. I gotta say, 31%. That's really good for a tournament as tough as this one.
Absolutely. No, it is, and he has got the ability to finish it off. I've seen him play very well. Again, rocking that Austria flag already. We are only through the bottom 9 through 6, and we've ticked off the flag of checking the Brazil and Austria flag, which is a pretty standard occasion. We're supposed to have Felipe on today. Again, Bryan, been a guest before, and always welcome. Love having you here. Thank you for coming on. You're going to be on an upcoming week, but you did hop up today as Felipe Wojciechowski just was not able to, got a little bit under the weather, ran into him in Brazil. He had a great series over there, and he will not be with us today, but he will be coming on a future show. And this is someone, Leonard, who we don't get to see often in the GG Millions, but has been done very well on the overall on GG, 3.2 million in earnings. You can see on the GG Millions, not many. He's played 6 times, does have 73K in earnings, and very bunched up stacks here. 34, 35, 36 blinds, and 3rd in the Belarus all-time money list. It says Ormam. I'm not very familiar with his game. What about you?
I don't know if I played with him much. He's probably playing a little bit higher than I was on GG. But
Yeah, this is
he's got a lot of earnings, and he's done quite well live as well as it looks like. So I think he'll have a good shot here. Like you said, all the stacks are really bunched together, so we're going to see a very interesting final table here. It's always more interesting when you get a lot of 30 to 40 big blind stacks battling it out.
yes, he has got a stack that's sort of jumbled up, and again, sort of interesting how these stacks play because they kind of know that the pay jumps is important and they don't want to get into too many tough situations. But some players do avoid sit back, some just kind of dive right in, and that's why it is exciting because we never know who's going to do what. As we see another player rocking a Austria flag, although Sven Anderson sounds very Sweden, sounds like a very Swedish name, as we see 7.7 in GG earnings, 1.7 of those coming from the GG millions, 55 blinds, has a little more chips, and also has got some big results in the online streets there, as you see a 500k score in the 10 mil guaranteed back in 2023. What about Sven? Any experience playing with him?
Yeah, I've played with him online. Very good player. A lot of these guys relocate to Austria, regardless where they're from. You see a lot of the best European players in Austria. It's the best place to be located for poker, so that's why the Austrian flag pops up so much.
Yeah, it's a great point, and that's something I do want to remind everyone that it is not just that country. Again, some of the players, based on where they live, they have to relocate or get set up to go play, and they move to go play. As we see another Simon Beckman here, who has got a impressive resume, hasn't got a win in the GG Millions. I assume you played with him online probably before. You can see he took a third place for over $1 million in one of the big GG Millions. So he is no stranger to the bright lights and getting it done when it matters most, as he has played 45 times, cashing about 20%, 2 final tables, and one that matters for third for $1 million in the GG Million. So I think that needs to be updated. As you see, he took third in the GG Millions for $1 million. His total GG Million.
Yeah, I was about to say that the earnings should be a little higher, but yeah, very impressive resume either way.
Yeah, he's done well. He's got almost 9 million in GG earnings, and what is one of the things he does well, if you're familiar with him and you can remember his type of.
He's very aggressive and good at applying pressure in all the right spots. He's just a very well studied, and he'll find the right spots to put pressure on in a final table like this, and I expect him to perform really well here with a big stack coming in.
For sure. Yeah, that's a great point. We're gonna get to see one of the hands he gets to play, Queen 8 off. Likely that'll go blind on blind. Otherwise, don't think he's going to be coming in there for any action before. We see some of the big names in poker there. DK, it's on right there, as he is again one of the tougher players, and we see a very dominant. Look at that Austria Brazil. What's that? 5 out of 7 players. 5 out of, is it 8-handed there? 8-handed? Is it 6?
Yeah, 8-handed.
We have a Brazil, and then the rest Austria basically there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Austrians and a Brazilian. Kind of crazy, as we do see it get folded to the big blind here.
So he can either raise or limp his hand. I think both options are pretty reasonable. And he does come in for a raise. This is a pretty decent hand to raise with, because you have these sort of like middle card blockers, but your hand's not really good enough to limp call with. So it's reasonable to come in for a raise here. And then he flops top pair, and we'll see how he decides to size on the flop here. Might see him go for a bigger size with a texture like this. Well, he goes for the 1/3. That's a great turn for him.
Yep, pretty clean as it stands.
One of the best ones. I mean, almost every turn in the deck's either going to be an overcard or something that completes a straight around the lower end, so getting a deuce here is amazing.
Yeah.
And so he's betting about 60% here. Kind of an awkward sizing, only leaving him with maybe like a little more than a third of the pot going into the river. But he wants to protect his hand. Every river is going to be kind of bad. An ace on the river. And that's an interesting one. He's not going to have a whole lot of ace-x here, two-barreling on this texture. You'd expect ace-x to check at some point, unless it's like ace-7 or ace-8. So he might wind up check calling this river, or he might shove for value.
Yeah, pretty intense river, and this is why the ranges are the widest on blind, and it is kind of the most fun to play, and you can really get creative here. And if you're good at reading hands and putting people on hands, it's one of the spots where you just get to kind of have the most creativity, as he does shove. And be interesting if we get to see a call here or not, if he calls in as good or if Sven lets this one go. But this is I mean, not everyone's going to shove this, that's for sure. But
this is one of the toughest spots to play right, the blind versus blind, because like you said, the ranges are just so wide, and it's really difficult to master. But he's shoving for value here because he doesn't have much ace-x the way he played the hand. So we might see Sven call, looking to put him on something like 9-10, 9-jack, something like that.
Wow. Does call off. I mean, tell me about, too, having the diamonds there. If you're Sven, does that really matter much in this spot when you do have the missed diamonds for the draws? Is that like something, or do you not expect the running diamonds?
It makes his hand slightly worse, but given that his diamonds are so low, it doesn't necessarily block that many of Simon's bluffs anyway. You'd expect Simon to have higher diamonds if he's going to be bluffing here because he raised pre-flop. So I think this specific combo of diamonds is not going to matter too much as far as wanting to fold it, but if he had higher diamonds, that might be a consideration.
And what are you looking for when you said to limp, when it goes in and he does raise pre-flop with queen eight off? I mean, you expect a lot of people to limp too. What is sort of a determining factor there to limp or to raise? What are some of the key things you're looking at?
Well, I think limping gets a bit worse the deeper in the tournament you go. You do want to raise a little bit more. Picking up the pot pre-flop against like these random trash hands can be very beneficial. And like I said, having a queen and an 8 in your hand, like your hand doesn't play that well post-flop, but you do actually block a decent number of your opponent's calls when you have those kind of medium cards. So I think it makes for a decent candidate to raise, but I think both options would have been fine. You probably just mixed the two.
For sure. And we do go now to our second finalist here, second place, and he's got 73 blinds, and he is all-time Serbia on the top 10 there as well. He does have a final table here, 21 appearances, not a ton of GG Millions earnings. Always kind of fun when we see someone who has some experience on GG and they've got 3 million in earnings, but hasn't been on this stage very often. So let's go ahead and see a hand from Vlada 2108. And what about him? Have you battled online with him?
I've played with him a lot. I mean, he's been playing forever, so I've definitely played quite a bit with him.
Very cool. Yeah, good to see him here on the big stage. And he's played this 21 times, only 3 cashes. Let's take him over to Kings on the button. That's a nice starter pack hand where you are 8-handed. You also have a good stack, and you're raising against the man D Velzovic, who is on fire as well. He is someone that has just been on a tear. Took it down last week. We saw that winning hand, and then this week he has chip. That's pretty crazy to go back to back. Last week he was 1.6 to 1 odds to win. He had so many chips. So I mean, that is dude, what the odds to go back to back chip leader in this tournament are pretty crazy. And that one was a lot of runners. That was a special edition one. So he's got to be feeling good right now.
It's a tough field too. I mean, he must have really cracked the code for this tournament to be chip leading it back-to-back weeks. So that's very impressive.
For sure. And we do see an open and now a 3-bet, and nice again button. Gonna get maybe the least credit in general. That's just kind of how it works. The best position to play from. So he is gonna get to 3-bet the very strong king, second best hand in the game, of course. And let's see what happens here. A flag you don't see too often. All right, well, gonna see the king queen off, 4-bet jam it in there, and that is a good spot for kings. Gonna need
always has equity on the turn, but I guess we know who wins based on who made the final table. So
yes, does turn a bit of equity, was in big trouble there. And let's talk about this. So you raise the sizing, he makes it 220 from the 80, like the shove there. Would you maybe prefer, it's a high variance play with king queen off, I guess player dependent, thinks maybe button raise, I got blockers to a hand. Tell me about king queen shoving there versus maybe 4-betting smaller, and just in general, what are your thoughts on that play?
I think it's probably a little bit light. It's not like completely out of the question. Like you said, it is player dependent. If you think your opponent's abusing you with 3-bets, and it makes for a fairly compelling hand, but I'd rather see a 4-bet shove there from like the cutoff than from the low jack. I think king queen off is probably just a little bit too light. I think hands like ace-5 suited make for much more compelling shoves, because that way when you run into it, you at least have your escape hatch. King queen off, like you do have the good blockers. As far as 4-betting not all in, I think it would be really awkward with the stacks. If he did 4-bet, he would have had to put in, I think, like well over a third of his stack to do that. So I think 4-betting not all in is a little bit less of an option here. I don't know. Is this final 2 tables? Do you know exactly what stage of the tournament this was in?
That's on the highlights. It's a cool feature, but it doesn't show exactly when it was. I mean, you can see DV, our guy, has 2.6, and it is fairly deep in the tournament. So I would imagine,
it's probably either final 2 or final 3.
Yes, I would say 2 tables because there's a couple. There's 2 million, 2 million, 2.6 million. It's a lot of chips out there. So yeah, let's say 2 or 3 tables left. Maybe
So that definitely
even
makes
one.
flatting a lot worse with the king queen because like the deeper the tournament you get, the more you want to play like four bet or fold. Like flatting three bets out of position just gets really tough at these stack depths. But
Yep.
I think king queen off unless he had some sort of read on the button, really abusing with three bets. I think it's a little bit too late.
A little wide for sure, but hey, he does look like a genius. You take it down a fair amount of the time, it's okay. You get it in slightly bad, or you get it flipped versus jacks or tens and win, and play a big pot. So it's yeah, pros and cons. Doesn't look great when you send this hand history to your buddies. I'm deep in this tournament, and that's how you go out. It's not one you want to send your backer or to a friend, but it is
I
again
think
part
with
of the
king queen
game. And
suited, it probably would have been totally fine. But king queen offsuit, I think, is a little bit of a bridge too far.
little bit of ambitious, but listen, again, that's why poker's fun. Everyone plays a little different, and we do want to take a moment to remind everyone there are going to be 3 giveaways. $50 GG tickets, must be subscribed, must hit the thumbs up. You guys can go ahead and get that out of the way. 400 already on the pregame. Appreciate you guys being in here, and we do have a special show. Not only is Bryan here, B Paris returning again, but we have a chip leader back-to-back weeks, 100 big blinds, starts with 4 million, pretty impressive. And his GGMillion earnings, a lot of those coming from last week where he did take down a blockbuster win, as he is in, again, driver's seat, 4 final tables, 3 wins. Gotta believe the confidence is high and looking to do it. I actually saw once GGMillion back-to-back winner with the back-to-back second place finisher. That was Dominic Nietzsche took second back-to-back weeks versus the same winner. So it has happened. It's very
Wow.
rare, but we have seen a few times where players have done sort of the unimaginable. And again, coming in though as chip leader, very impressive. And what about his game? Are you familiar with Velasquez? Have you played with him?
I've played with him a few times. I don't really remember a whole lot, but I think he's playing a little bit higher than I was. So I've run into him occasionally in like the Sunday 500s and stuff, but I don't have a ton of hands logged with him. But I mean, this coming in back-to-back weeks as a chip leader in a tournament this tough, that's just incredible.
It is. It is impressive, and of course, hard to win, hard to finish. We're going to get to look at the in-client betting odds here momentarily, as we'll see this hand first. Ace Jack suited, 7-handed, deep in the tournament. You can see the chip stacks are pretty healthy here. There's a Damo lurking in the background. Oliver obviously at this final table, and then of course Simon we did look at as well. He's our short stack today. He's over there in the small blind, but we do see a raise. And did he just, what's that? I can't see the size. He clicked it? Or...
Yeah, he just min raise and then call. I think calling here is very reasonable at this hand. You don't really want a three bet call, and three bet folding would be a disaster.
Wait, he called or min raised? He just called.
He min raised and then Velasquez flatted.
Okay, got it. No, I'm saying, yeah, Velasquez did not re-raise. He flatted. So yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. And good flop. Top pair, top kicker. This is nice. This is a good starting point for this hand, but yeah, you do run the risk of obviously some trickier hands. Maybe there are advantages. I think ace jack off, he might have 3-bet. Ace jack suited, he
Yeah,
flats.
ace jack offsuit would be a much more compelling three bet. But yeah, a great hand for him. He checks back the flop, which is kind of surprising. I would have expected to see a bet there, but that's why he's here and I'm in the booth, I guess.
Hey, listen, the booth can catapult you into amazing places. Are you going down to the Bahamas? Will you be there for any of that?
Probably not this year. I got the family here for Christmas and everything.
Okay, well,
But it sounds like a fun time. I've been meaning to make it to that tournament.
it is a good one, but that's all right. Listen, I'm you save the run good for the next stop. Then I'll take this one. You take the next one, and
That sounds good
we'll
to me.
That works out, as we do see an interesting play. He's been playing it a bit coy. The backdoor hearts come in. Queen 10 makes a
Pot
straight.
size bet on the turn on a very draw heavy board, worth noting, and then a lot of the draws fell in the river. Queen 10 gets there, the hearts get there, but Velasquez still with a very good hand here. And so once it gets checked, I'd imagine this hand is good. So he's going to bet for value. The only question is how much.
And if the player had shoved, do you think he's calling there? And he does check back.
He checked it back. Okay, so I guess he doesn't bet for value. I guess there's not a whole lot of value to be had on this board, but I would have expected his hand to be good at showdown the vast majority of the time. If the river gets shoved, it's going to be very interesting. It's not the easiest call in the world. I mean, you are beating some things, but a lot of the draws came in, and you don't block any of the hearts or the queen 10 or anything like this.
Yeah, it's a great point, and it is. This is a good question in the chat, and this is the view of the hero. This is the pregame show, exactly right. GGPoker on the ball in the chat, and again, we'll have tickets for you on X. I'm going to put that up on the break we will be taking here after the pregame show ends. We'll have a 5-minute break, and then we will dive into action. I'll put that out. That'll be for 50 cash. We'll have 4 total giveaway opportunities for you guys worth $200, as we will now go ahead and see. I think we have some dinner credits stored up, and I gotta get my sheet updated on this. Actually, I made a Google sheet. Because it's hard. I'll be honest. I thought, my memory's good, can remember. But when I've done 160
you're on here every
shows,
week, man. You can't possibly remember all of them.
It's tough. Yeah. It's exactly. It starts becoming. I
still owe you one from last time, because I didn't find you in Vegas this summer, but I still owe you one from last time. So I'll see if I can break even here. We go double or nothing.
Okay, that sounds good. We can make it even a little bit of a nicer one, right? We can do a bigger dinner, or we can figure it out. We'll flip, and we'll definitely have a dinner, as we are going to see a winner today. We are going to see no deal making, which is a staple on the GG Millions, as we will go ahead and now look at the betting odds, which is what we were talking about. We'll put a dinner wager, you and I, and we will go ahead and look at a little less of a dominant gap between DV here, as he is the favorite, but not 1.6 to 1, which I was actually in Brazil last week, and I took a shot at betting most of the board besides him, because he was 1.6 to 1 favorite. He did end up winning it, so he punished me a little bit on that. But as we see here, there's opportunity. I'm gonna let you pick first, and you can. I don't think I'll take him off. I'll let you have him. Your guest, if you want, you can have. We'll leave him on the board, and you get to pick first.
I'm taking him. He's on fire. I can't bet against him, so I'm gonna first pick Velocevich here.
Okay, I just do it for the viewers to kind of play along, to give them an idea. Let's assume you have 100 betting units and you break into 3 picks. So bet what you want on
3 picks
on him.
Okay, I'll put 40% on him. I got a good feeling about him.
Okay, so you get roughly on that. You get like 160 back if he wins. So you book a profit if he does end up taking that down. I will go with. I'm gonna go with the even 7 to 1 Sven Anderson. I don't know, just jumped out to me. I feel like, yeah, he's a very tough player, and I like that payout. I'm gonna take I'll take 30 on him, so I'll double my money. 30 out of my 100 on Sven. And your second pick, please.
I'm going with Simon for my second pick. He's a top tier
player.
Matt,
Simon, which one?
Beckman.
Okay, got to clarify when you got one of the Mount Rushmores of poker.
I mean, it's a Simon Matson might make a comeback. It's a real long shot though, so I'm taking Beckman with my second pick. I'll put 30 on him.
Okay, so you got 30 there. You got 30 left. You did 40-30. I took what did I do? 30 on 7 to 1. I will go with I'm gonna go Oliver Weiss. I'm gonna take him for 12 to 1, and I'll put I'll go 40 there, so I'll almost get 500 return on my roughly 480 if he does win. Oliver for my second. Your third pick, please.
I'm gonna go with Boyka.
Boyka, nice pick. And so that's your remaining, what, 30?
30 left on
30
him,
left. Okay, so that's a nice, that would feel the nice return if he were able to get it done. You know what? I'm a sucker for big names and stories. I'm going to go with Simon Matson, see if I can hit my remaining, I believe, 30 units on him.
You're going to crush it if he gets there, man. You're going to
That'd be a nice payout. He's just one double. It's all it takes, and I think he's going to be much better than 10 to 1 if he can
He's
get
a very
up to
good
like
player. If he can
big.
get some chips, he can certainly make it happen.
Yes, it is a good show to do it. I think this one is going to be a very interesting one, and see if DV can run away and get this thing cruising, or if we're going to see a battle and sort of it tighten up. But right now he is looking to make history and be one of the few players that have won back-to-back titles here. He is in great form, and again, hope you all are going to be in the Bahamas or have some action in the Bahamas. There's multiple ways you guys can buy pieces of players and be involved in that on all kinds of different spots. I know there are sites to do that, and there is friends and people that are going down there. Do you have any action? Do you like buying pieces, or do you get sweats in, or have any horses down there?
I haven't in the Bahamas. I did a decent amount for the World Series main event, but I will probably look to. I have a few friends who are going, so I'll probably look to get some pieces just so I can get some sweats, because it's going to be I know it's a fun time down there, and I'm kind of sad I'm missing it this year. It's one of the things I've really been meaning to make it out to.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool event, but I'm sure we'll see you there in the future. And again, we are going to be talking about, you have a course we'll be diving into that. I want to hear about what you've been working on. I know you always you're always in the lab. You're always making moves and doing something exciting. So we are going to talk about that and much more, and we will let everyone go to a 5-minute break. Do not go anywhere. We will see a winner today. No deal making. Take your break. We'll see you in 5. All right, everyone, it is that time. It is the seat draw time as, again, Bryan Paris joins us again on the show, B Paris Poker, a man who has done many things, and a lot of those being in online poker for many years. So we're going to talk about him, what he's working on, his course, as well as we will get in. And Bryan, have you thought any more about the seat draw selection? Is there any strategy you would do as your shorter stack? Obviously, the bigger stacks tend to go to the left of the next biggest at the end. What about the shorter stacks? What can you try to do here?
When we're the shortest stack, you have to pick first, so everyone else gets to move you if they want to. So my usual strategy is to go for like the cutoff and just kind of hope that nobody moves me from there. Hope that I get the longest time until I post the next big blind. But there's a very limited amount you can do as the shortest stack. This is a really interesting feature because as far as I know, GG is the only site that does this, and it's always an interesting sort of metagame as far as like what seat you select, and at least for the bigger stacks when they get to have last pick. And we'll see what Simon goes with here. If I'm him, I'm moving to either the button or the cutoff, and we'll see him take the button here. It's going straight forward. I usually choose the cutoff because I feel like it's less likely to get me swapped out of. But when you're the short stack, like I said, there's a very limited amount you can do.
Yeah, it's a great point. I think that is sort of what we see is the cutoff or button as the shortest stack. But your point is taken that it's very rare that it stands as other stacks come, and then the sort of big stacks end up taking what looks to be to the left of the other stack. Or if there's someone they respect a lot or they think it's tough, maybe they want to be across from them or on their left instead of the next biggest stack. But now Oliver, with the decision, we saw Depa Tudim stay put. Oliver's happy in the cutoff if he can stay.
Well,
Simon so
chose
far
to be to the right of the unknown player, which I think is interesting. Maybe he thinks he'll have an easier time with the least experienced player on his immediate left.
Yeah, for sure. And Simon now, is he going to? I mean, the small blind not so bad either, right? You kind of miss the big blind, and then you get a whole
Yeah,
orbit, and you're in the button. I like that
small
seat
one's a
too.
lot better than the big one, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. As Sven now is he's going to take Simon and put him under the gun. So that's kind of out the window now for Simon. But he tried, and he
Let's go
was
the
there
other
for a
Simon
minute.
lines up here.
Sven going to go into the small blind. I'm sorry, Simon goes to the small blind, and now Vlad of the second stack. Where will he go?
I like his seat right now. I don't think he should move.
Okay, so he's
He
gonna
moves one to
take
his left. Okay.
Simon. Now DV, does he just stay there as he's got sort of
Yeah,
position
he's got
on
position on all the big stacks. I would
everyone?
just stay
Simon, the
there.
big stacks. That feels like maybe he just keeps his seat.
Yeah, he looks
And
like he's going to.
he's saying hello. Hello, I like it. Thank you for not making me waste my energy or effort. I will stay right there and we will go on and see the individual game clock, sort of like a chess clock. Everyone gets that is there. It's based on the M ratio, the average turn ratio, and your time banks from before. So you can see everyone will not have the same time, although it's sort of roughly similar. No one too crazy. It looks like actually what 13:20 to 12:30 is the gap there. 13:40
We've
actually.
seen some in the past ones. We've seen it get down to people are totally out of time bank by the time they get heads up, and then they're playing like speed chess almost or speed poker in this case.
For sure.
So we're off to the races here, and Velocevic opening King 8 suited, which is a totally standard open here is the big stack. Our unknown Brazilian player flatting with sevens, which I think is a little bit wide at a final table on the hijack. I think he should probably just fold that hand. And Oliver coming right in there with aces. And I'd imagine this just takes it down. I don't think sevens can continue here, but he might try to get a little out of line. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think flatting would be the radar there. So yeah, luckily he didn't parlay into a worse situation.
He
Does
could
get a really
back
nice.
shove it. I mean, it is a pair, but that's very risky. And I don't think he should even flat the first time around. Hands like medium pocket pairs go way down in value at final tables. I mean, you can flat on like the button or something, but flatting the hijack, I think it's just kind of leaving yourself out there. Beckman does have the best hand here. This should just take down the pot. The time bank management's a big part of the metagame here because you get in some tough spots early in the tournament, but if you do manage to make it heads up or three-handed, those spots get very intricate, very tough to navigate. And if you have to do that with 20 seconds of time bank or something, it can be really, really difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's Fast start. We're seeing some big hands. King Queen going to open. The Velzevich, will he want to defend or be involved with the King 6 off or just pass? I mean, he's covering by a lot. King 6 off maybe plays better sometimes as a 3-bet than a defend, but it's also early middle position. Let's see. I mean, if he did decide to attack, this is an uncomfortable one, right? It's King Queen off is kind of like you realize this is a situation where you could be doing very well, but also even against like a weak ace or other hands or happen to wake up with a hand. And this is very much so maybe indicative of how D Velzevich is chipping up, right? He's taking these sort of spots and just attacking here. Let's see how Oliver responds.
It's a great 3-bet. Oh, Oliver is not having it though. He comes in for the 4-bet right away. I guess he's got a read on how Velozevich is playing these sorts of spots. I was expecting a fold from him because he's right in the middle with all these other stacks, but I guess he's correctly identifying that it's a spot where Velozevich is gonna be 3-betting really wide. And I can't imagine. Oh,
wow. Let's just take a highlight hand right off the start. 583 on watch. You guys are seeing some big stack poker, and this is honestly one of the more epic hands we've seen at an early stages. 9-handed Oliver. Does Oliver somehow just man up and rip it here? No, he doesn't. It would have worked. He had the right
read, and he just got clicked on. That's incredible. So I guess that's how Velozevich is doing it at these deep runs. I mean, hands like that, that's an incredible hand. I was just about to say I can't imagine he 5-bets and then he proved me wrong, but that's why he's there and I'm here.
Wow.
So coming in for a raise here, blind versus blind as the big stack, and Orman we will certainly see a continue from him with this hand. And this is an interesting flop. We got middle pair, and we also have a flush draw. And Orman does have the King of Hearts blocker as well, so could get really interesting if a heart comes in.
Yeah, DV's just putting pedal to the metal right now, right away. And I mean, depending on this run out here, yeah, I can't really fold. GTO Wizard is going to come in telling us what they recommend, but they got a check box marked here, as we'll see if DV does go with that. He does go check, and also now I'm trying to see if flashes up. Okay, so it's saying okay. So after
twice. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if these you know better than me. I don't know if these wizard solutions are ICM adjusted or if they're just chip EV. Because you have to run the ICM ones with the AI solver or whatever, and that's going to change things quite a bit. But yeah, in chip EV he would be checking the flop, and it wants to shove the turn. Wow. We'll see if he finds that.
Wow, all in it's saying. That is I
can't imagine that's ICM adjusted. That must be just chip EV.
Interesting. Very interesting.
He's running hot.
He is running hot to 5 mil.
He's not even running hot. He's just playing hot because he hasn't actually made a hand yet. He's just bluffed twice. Although that one was a semi bluff.
Yeah, that was a sick hand.
He bet quite large on the turn too. If he had got shoved on, he would have found himself in a really awkward position with not quite the right price to call, but kind of leaving himself hanging out there with a flush draw that he just figured his opponent couldn't continue, and he was right. And Beckman taking down another easy one there with ace-10.
All right, well, he might make light work of us today. I'll tell you what, if DV can separate, if he can chip out, take down one of these 2 mil or middle stacks and get up to 7-8 million early, could really start running away. But as we know, it's hard, right? It's hard to actually run away and just separate here at these final tables. But 5 million 9-handed out of all the chips in play, he is doing very well. He's going to sit that one out. He's not going to open everything. He does hold there, 9-3 suited. And Boyka going to attack the ace-10 suited. We know that won't work.
The 8th stack, because as long as Mattson's over there with 10 big blinds, it's hard for the number 8 stack to play too many hands. But ace-10 suited is certainly going to be good enough to continue with. And he flops a gut shot. Boyka with 5 high. Gonna have a hard time doing much here. Very connected board. And he picks up his own gut shot.
Yeah. Does pick up a gut shot in 5-3 suited. He's kind of just in a way giving up, or at least momentarily now when he sees a check back, maybe does to start to attack. Ace-10 suited has the gut shot, ace high, does check again, and ace-10 suited probably is happy and now does improve.
You might see him bluff the river. He has basically the worst hand you can have here. But
I would think though the 9x or whatever would bet. Yes, this is gonna be just an easy call. He's gonna be thrilled to be able to
yeah,
call
he's just
here.
trying to fold out like slightly better high card hands than what he has. This hand is certainly not folding for this size.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna call. I'm just thinking like too. It's not really many 9x and definitely not with that sizing on the river, but also like you would expect 9x to be betting right at some point there if you just had a 9. So interesting. Boycott doesn't go crazy. Does lose a little bit. Nice.
He was just trying to fold out king high or ace high unimproved, I think. And
Yep.
I think it's a good risk reward with 5 high, you know, because you're not beating literally anything by checking, so you might as well just bet one and hope that you can fold out something slightly better.
Absolutely.
And Simon raising the king queen, but he's gonna run into aces. The min 3-bet. That's not something you see very often.
No, that is not for that size and under the gun +1 min raise. That is very inviting, almost so much that can't. I mean, what do you if you're Simon here? I don't even know how what
I
you
think he's
just
just
like
gonna
never see
call and
that.
just try to hit a really big flop because it's got to raise alarm bells. Yeah, the min 3-bet, the 1/3. Simon does have a gut shot, so we might see him call one more. And the heart comes in. That's not going to be great for either player.
But not
Very
afraid.
fast turn bet, and the wizard recommending a check on this board. It's a very treacherous board for aces with no heart, but so our Brazilian is putting some distance between him and the short stack, which is going to be good. He's actually in a decent chip position now. He's in fifth or something. Sven with a playable hand in the big blind. I'd imagine we see him call here. We do, but Leonid is going to have the win on this board.
Yeah, ace 10, queen 10. Not too much here. That king 6 hand was special though to
That was
start.
nuts, man. That's I mean, yeah, usually have to go pretty far to the final table before you see him like that, but that is you know how this guy's coming in with the chip lead every week. Because you know coming in the chip lead back to back weeks, like you didn't just get dealt aces every hand. You know, you definitely made it happen, and we got an example of that here. And we'll see if he comes in with a 3-bet with this hand. It's a little bit early position, but he does have a very good stack to put pressure on his opponent. He flats, trying to take a flop with position. It's going to be hard for Vlada to reach showdown here out of position this deep against a big stack. He's going to have a lot of trouble navigating this spot. So interesting flat. I think it's a little bit wide, but you know, he's like I said, he's certainly leveraging his stack advantage.
I got over 1,000 watching. Want to welcome in everyone again. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. We got Bryan Paris, Paris Poker online streams as well. Has done a lot in the poker world, a lot in online, and is going to join us today. And can you maybe this probably ends there? A nice hand. DV's got seems to have all the moves. He's flatting the right spots. He's raising in the right spots, and he is up to 5.1 million. Tell me about the course. I know you've been working on. I know Wasserman as well. Been a guest so many times in the show. Does a lot of great stuff here and helps out with the GG commentary. So tell me what that is and maybe how he's involved.
Yeah, so the course is called Mid Stakes Mastery. Me and Mike have both been playing, you know, mid stakes online. Not tournaments as big as this, but you know, the level just under this. And we both have, you know, many years of track record and beating these tournaments for a living. So we made a course about focusing on those tournaments, and it's a very long course now. We've been updating it every year. We made it back in 2021 or 22, and we've been updating it every year. So it's well over 40 hours of material now. We just added a whole section on mystery bounties, bubble play, deep ICM play, and some heads up stuff. So it's a really comprehensive. It's got a ton of material on how to, you know, beat these online mid stakes level, but it applies to everything. So it's a really good course. We're really proud of it. We've been working on it for a while, and we're putting it on sale again soon.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. We'll get maybe you can PM me that info. I can drop a link or put something in the
Yeah,
chat
I'll get
during
it from
the
Mike on our next break or something. We can
perfect. Perfect. And I tell you what, this is one of those ones it's nine-handed DV just calls. He could have done multiple things, but he's so high up in his range with ace queen off, considering he's going to open queen 5 suited, you know, all kinds of hands. So this is one where ace jack off is attacking at the wrong time and gets literally one of the worst flops can do. He's up against the top pair top kicker, literally drawing dead, needs running
Yeah.
king 10. essentially, or Jack. So this is going to get check raised. And I'll tell you what, Oliver's actually, he's not going to love this on the Queen 6 deuce getting flatted, and you kind of want to get the gig up. He's not going to have the info on the King 6 yet, but this is not a fun start to this hand, as he is just going to
it's
get
a
out of the
shame
way,
for
though.
Oliver because he actually had the right read on that king queen hand. He just didn't expect that his opponent would be willing to put him to 5-bet, and
Yeah.
He's picked kind of the wrong spot so far, but he certainly had the right idea. And now he's got a pretty good hand, ace-9 suited, but his stack is in an awkward spot. He's still going to open. This hand is still good enough to open, but he's running into multiple better hands behind. 3 of the aces in the deck are out, so he's not going to wind up improving if he does have to call off against Simon here, at least not often.
Yep. Simon, pretty interesting with the raise and then ace jack, though, against that stack size and on the button doing pretty well, but there is the raise ahead, ace-9 suited. So curious with the raise and then shove how this will play out. But either way, Simon's going to be in a good spot with the aces shared. And all right, ace jack off, snap fold.
Yeah, I think ace jack, he doesn't have anything committed other than the big blind, and he's up against this action from stacks that don't really have much incentive to get out of line, so he's just going to get out of the way. And then Oliver, in a tough spot, he's up against the one stack he kind of wants to gamble against, but he's going to wind up making the fold correctly, realizing he's behind there. So really rough start here for Oliver, but he hasn't really made any mistakes per se. I mean, he's just got outdid on that king queen king 6 hand.
Yep, we'll get a timely ace king, but no real hands behind. Probably, well, he does get the king 10 off open, so does get at least
that's a real loose open with king 10 at this stack depth into this stacked lineup. I think it's obviously not going to work well for him because he's running an ace king right behind, but I think just in general he's going to wind up getting pushed back on too much to be opening a hand like this.
Yeah, we see his game plan though, right? He's got a little bit of a funky formula, right? Which again, just 3-betting to min raise out of position against one of the gunnies. He's in there with some speculative holdings, opening early position. So I think he'll give us a fun mix today, right? It can.
Seems like we always get one wild card at these final tables. Last time we had that one guy. It was a few months ago, so I don't know if you remember, but.
Mm-hmm. No, it is fun. That's why it makes it it's nice when it's not just textbook stuff where you have people willing to mix it up, and then how do people respond to that? How do they exploit it, and does the player get going, right? If player makes some hands and you play a little bit crazy and wild, you can be very dangerous. So we'll see how this plays out as we see another blind on blind with 6-4 off, gonna stab into a second nut flush draw. Certainly won't end it here. And queen deuce comfortably in the lead, although now
It makes a pair.
And
so he's actually ahead now, but we'll see if he manages to reach the river with it. And I don't know if Boyka's going to just check here or if he's going to wind up turning his hand into a semi-bluff. I mean, he does have queen high, which has some showdown value, but he's also, might want to put pressure on like some ace highs or some better queen highs. He checks and might just see a check on the river, or he might go for some value with the 4. Yeah, check. And Velocevic, he's actually chipped up like 50% or something already, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's exactly. He's
a really good start for him. Here he came in with the lead, and now he's got double the next stack.
Yeah, he started with 4 mils, got 5.5. And again, want to welcome everyone in. Hope you're enjoying. We've been having an amazing time this year on the GG Millions. We are kind of culminating the second part of season with the end of the Bahamas, and there will be shows during that. I know there's some questions. Will we have? Yes, the 9th, 16th, as well as of now, I believe the 23rd and 30th, right? It's not on Christmas Eve or Christmas or New Year's Day or Eve. So I think we'll be clean having the show throughout, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to be down there, hopefully having to call in a guest and take off. Might have to ask you to host one, B Paris, if you're taking off, maybe to do a show in a few weeks or something. If I go to day 4, but we appreciate you coming on, man. It's always great to have you. So I appreciate the time.
I always appreciate the invite. It's really interesting to watch how these guys play these things. It's a great study session, honestly, because we see Velocevic here coming in with a 3-bet with king 6 suited, using a very big sizing, and makes Vlada fold a much better hand. But it's really tough for Vlada to continue much there. The second stack against the big stack, he just can't really open himself up to being out of position in a spot like that. He's just going to be put in the cage post flop too much.
It's interesting because the king jack off, he flats, right? Where it was a spot where it definitely could have three bet pre-flop, so he flats. So he's mixing it up. He's finding hands and picking on people in different situations, different positions. But Vlad definitely with a very tough seat, right? It's sort of already he's had sort of a nightmare situation where he has sevens, ace 10
Yep.
suited, like strong but not great hands, and he's getting attacked and
I think
played
he is
back at
supposed to
by.
continue there with ace 10 suited, but I mean, I can't really fault him for just wanting to get out of the way because it's real tough, man. The second stack against the big stack out of position, you're not the best hand a lot, but you're going to put in some really tough post flop spots.
Yep. And here's actually one where Sven has a dominating position, but again, sort of one of the stacks that don't want to be tangoing. He's got a very healthy 2 mil, and he
Yeah.
is, there's a 2.5, 2.5s in this, but he's in comfortable fourth. So like to get involved or have a big mishap here would be his risk premium is extremely high. So he is, he's just calling and GTO Wizard going to come in and saying that start with a check, and now I guess a can't imagine anything but call, and does actually hit Jin there.
That's a good turn. But yeah, very, very standard call for him pre-flop. I mean, in Chippy V, you want to three bet this hand, but in the final table, you do not want to open yourself up to inflating the pot, like you said, with the chip with the risk premium. And Milosevic happy to check back there. And we'll see how much value Sven tries to go for here. He does have an excellent hand, but he is behind a couple things. He blocks the ace of hearts, so it's less likely he's up against a flush, but there are some full houses out there as well.
Okay, well, here we go. We get a couple different sizings, saying you can go large, small, or check a very small percent of the time. I do like to bet here, and as played, there are going to be some hands that are interesting. And let's see, with the ace 10, blocks boats. Can't think of too many hands that you're beating as played, unless it's the ace X of heart, right? There is that
Yeah,
maybe
you're
ace X of,
not beating much. So
right.
I'd imagine we see him fold here. Could have called a small bet, but you can't really call the big bet.
Yeah.
Milosevic going to keep opening. I like this open. I didn't like the open with King 10 from the other guys, the medium stack, but with the big stack, you can certainly open this hand as much as you want. And Simon is going to defend, I would imagine, and he's going to be dominated, but it's not going to matter on this board. And we'll see what sizing he chooses, or if he even throws in a check here, but I'd imagine he bets some amount. Goes for the small bet, that's going to take it down. And Milosevic is living the dream these last 2 weeks of winning this tournament and then coming in as the big stack and immediately chipping up another 50% plus. That's just really he's got to be feeling great right now. Simon's got a playable enough hand in the big blind here to make the call, I would imagine. And he does flop an open-ended, but unfortunately for him, Boyka has the top end of his straight covered. This is kind of an interesting spot. He does go for the small bet.
Yeah, he does have the best hand and has a Simon with a kind of an awkward one because you actually this exact situation, right? If you do hit the jack, you happen to be against a hand that does make the better straight. It's just not great to be drawing there. So he does get out of the way. Still got 10 blinds, gonna have the big blind. So okay start for him. Hasn't he did get queens in, picked it up. He's still the shortest. Oliver's chipped down a little bit too, but he's still in the game.
Beckman with ace jack offsuit. He can either three bet this or flat. I think flatting is very reasonable.
Ooh,
This deep,
nice
you don't
flop.
necessarily want to open yourself up to a four betting war against the other fourth place stack or whatever it is. So Sven has the best draw. Beckman has the best hand. And Sven
Just
makes the nuts on the turn, but Beckman doesn't have much to continue with here.
yep, just drills it and has the decision to bet to check or how much to bet. And with the check back from Simon on the flop, I think, you have no diamond in your hand. So he actually goes for a large sizing, which if you have showdown, if Simon had something like eights or I don't know, some other hand like now could have somehow king, queen of diamonds or ace high, ace jack, ace 10 of diamonds, you're going to hook on someone. But what do you think about that size?
I mean, I think it makes sense with the nuts to try to just play for a lot of upside. Didn't work that time, of course, but I think it's totally reasonable.
Yeah, I like it. I do like the size there. I think either check or bet big, and probably checking doesn't make a ton of sense as we see DV against our guy Depatutum, who's willing to battle. He has got the Rockets in the big blind. This feels a bit unfair. I mean, I don't like saying fair
Yeah.
in poker, but this is nasty, right? The guy's just how big does he go? Maybe he doesn't even go that big. Maybe he can just go small, do an exploit here versus Dep. He does. He does
We are
go.
on a delay, right? So he's not going to know about the king six hand for a while. But yeah, this is kind of rough because he's got to be at least thinking like, man, this guy could be three betting real light. Maybe I'll four bet shove, and he's gonna run right into aces if he does. But king jack offsuit is not a very good hand to get out of line with, so I would hope he just folds, and he does make a fold this time. Boyko with ace queen, Beckman with king queen suited. This is an interesting one. Curious to see what he does here. He is up against the under the gun player. They're at 22 effective. He makes the flat, which I think is pretty reasonable. Matson happy to just get out of the way there with fives. And Vlada with threes. I don't think he should continue here, but he might think the stacks are deep enough. No, he doesn't. Okay, that makes sense. And Beckman has hit a king on the flop.
Yeah, king queen suited, ace queen does out flop Boyka, although ace queen just not going to be thrilled with this flop. So see if it gets in much
Especially
trouble.
from these positions. And Beckman just laying the trap here. It's when you're in these positions, I think the ranges are so strong that even a hand like this, you don't really want to play for stacks. You're happy to just try to maybe win one street or just get to showdown.
Mhm. And yeah, be curious how he constructs this if he wants to get some bet in now. Yeah, actually, I like that. And then bet turn, and then depending river, he might not even be able to bet. And obviously, like you said, strong ranges. King queen suited isn't necessarily jumping up and down, although they got to feel pretty good when it goes check check.
It's quite a good hand. It's just that you can't expect to get paid by worse very
Yeah.
easily.
Mm-hmm. The ace queen is considering
He
what's
does
going
have good
on here.
blockers if he wants to try to get out of line somehow, but I don't know. It's going to be tough for him.
Explain that to the audience what you mean good blockers, what kind of wrapping the king or what just in general
Yeah,
there with
he's got an ace in it, so he blocks aces because aces is one of the hands Beckman might flat with there. Although at a final table, I think it's a little less likely. He blocks king queen as well. So if he thought Beckman had a hand like eights or nines, he could maybe try to check raise, bluff the turn or something like this. But it seems pretty fancy, so I'm not surprised to see him just get out of the way there.
right. Also ace king, not going to be ace king almost ever there.
Yeah, ace king would pretty much
Yeah.
always three bet, I think. Maybe he could try to trap flat ace king suited or something, but I think he'd be three betting that too.
And then tell me too, Jack three suited folds there to the min raise, closing the action. Is that maybe just with Simon and Oliver shorter at this point?
Yeah, I think he
Sort
just
of
thinks that it's too difficult for him to play pots with the two shorter stacks. I mean, the suited hands generally are going to defend the big blind, but the risk premiums are always shifting based on the stack distribution, and like you wind up folding some of the weaker suited hands in spots like that. And I think Jack three suited is like just weak enough that you can justify folding it. I don't think he would have folded with like Jack 7 suited or Jack 8 suited. Boyka might be wondering if he can get away with something here, but does not. And I think we'll see a defend here with Jack 7 suited, and that is a very good flop for him.
Yeah, 118 want to flop a flush. He does do so, and he's got the right property with the player as chip leader. Queen 8 off and happens to have 0% in this hand. So that is going to be, if he can find call, he's going to come
Ooh,
right out.
I don't like the raise there. I think you're just you got to just check call that flop and let Velocevich keep betting at it. I don't think that texture gets raised very much in general. The monotone textures tend to get played more passively on both sides, especially as the big blind. Even when you flop a flush, you just want to check call and then let your opponent try to keep pushing you around, especially with the big stack playing the way Velocevich is playing.
Yeah, Depututum is definitely playing a wild style. Like he is in there ready to play big pots. He's doing a bit unconventional stuff, but again, worked well for him so far. He's got made it to the final table. He's got a decent stack, and I think again is kind of more likely to go out between 7 and 9 or make the top 3. I don't think he's hanging around. He's not looking the ladder, and he's playing an inspired brand. So let's see how this works out as we see Ace 6 suited and King Jack suited as King Jack suit out flop. DV running good, playing good, aggressive, very tough to beat when this is all working like this.
Yeah. And Beckman's not going to have much to continue with here, though, so I think he's just going to win a small pot this time. Yeah, showing the power of flatting as the big stack, even just flatting when you're the big stack can be very difficult to navigate for the medium stacks out of position. They have to go 3 streets, be out of position the whole time. Very high risk premiums. It's just a tough spot. So we see a lot of flatting from Velocity. I mean, that flat was very standard. The King Jack offsuit flat earlier, I think, was a little bit outside the box, but it worked out great for him too.
And this is 18, just over 18 blinds. You got 4 players behind, so he's going to go for the 3-bet. I do like the decision with knowing that DV is, going to be opening wide. I think he does run the risk. DV could play back at him. Of course, people could wake up, but he didn't go all in. He 3-bet, not all in, and that's an important pickup. I think that's going to be one of the keys here is who's willing to take their modest good hands and be aggressive against him because he's going to have a field day if not. So that was a not by any,
Nice.
not crazy, very qualified hand, but just something that had to stick the neck out a little bit.
Yeah, that was a nice 3-bet, and that's the exact type of hand you wanted. And it's something you kind of have to unlearn from chip EV because you don't want to really like 3-bet fold your suited aces in chip EV. But at final tables, those types of hands make for great 3-bet folds. And we see Sven using a little bit bigger of an opening sizing here. He doesn't want to let Simon call for the minimum, and it gets the job done. And Simon now with ace-2 offsuit, going to make the open. You do
Yeah,
see
Jack
spots
9.
at final tables where it wants to fold like ace-2 and ace-3 offsuit specifically. But generally speaking, just having an ace in your hand is good enough to try to put pressure on at final tables.
Yeah, these guys are
Both
deep.
players flopping a pair here. Vlada has a slightly better pair, but both hands are fairly weak.
About 50 blinds effective, so plenty of play here. Ace deuce going to come for a small bet. Jack 9, pretty comfortable call here.
Yeah, I would imagine we see a call. 2 on the turn. That is a beautiful card for Beckman because he's not going to have a 2 in his hand very often. Unfortunately for him, Vlada doesn't really have a hand that can pay him off too big, but we might get one more street out of him.
Yeah, that's an incredible turn. It really is.
That
Like
is
just
really, really
ridiculous.
good. Yeah.
The ace is like one thing, it's scary. King 10 completes. If you got the Jack 9, you're not whatever. But now it's like, you're kind of like, yeah, how do you have a deuce? I have the Jack. Or you just happen to have a better queen? Maybe some weak queens would check back as well on the flop, like possibly Queen 7 or something like that. So, he's sort of right in the middle, and this is where it starts out like just a one blind pre, and now you're all of a sudden playing a potentially pretty big pot, and you're in big trouble here.
It is a tough spot for him with Jack 9 because It's also a Badoogie turn, which means there's no backdoor flush draw, so it's a good turn for Beckman to two barrel with a little bit wider of a range. But Vlada does get out of the way on the turn, and correctly so.
Do you think sizing? Do you think that's slight mistake? Do you think maybe on that board specifically, do you think you could maybe exploit a little smaller there, just in case your
I mean,
opponent
I think
has?
you're probably gonna want to size about that much with everything you two barrel with. So I think that hand because you just want to maximize against a queen. And Simon will shove here. We might see a call from Belasovic. It's only for about 6 big blinds. I think this hand probably makes it into the calling range unless he does benefit from keeping the short stack alive. So we might see him fold as well, just to.
I agree. I mean, Oliver's still sort of short, but I think it is a difference short, so it does actually kind of keep everyone. It keeps Oliver also in check more and just in yeah. I think you're right. I think he's sort of looking to not bust him there
Yeah, he was
necessarily,
getting the
like
right
not.
price to call, but he benefits greatly from having those short stacks still be alive.
Yep.
And that's another factor you got to continue. Final tables are so interesting because there's so many moving parts, and another factor you have to continue on top of all the other stuff is the future game, and that's what we saw there from Velocevic, passing up on a slightly profitable call with King 8 there to benefit from the future EV of being able to pressure the other stacks more. And Oliver Kings, Vlada here has Ace Jack offsuit. This is a difficult spot for him. He does correctly make the fold. When these short stacks open off 10 big blinds, it's going to be somewhat of a polarized range. You're going to have the very best hands like kings and aces, and you're going to have a few of these like high card blocker hands to balance that out. Ace Jack offsuit does not perform particularly well against that range, so Vlada correctly gets out of the way there. Simon with Ace 8 offsuit on the low jack. This is a difficult one. And he's going to come in for the small raise this time. And this is one of those hands you use to balance your aces and kings. Not quite good enough to shove, but you do have high cards in your hand, and you're going to get a lot of credit when you raise there off that short stack, so he is going to steal that one. And that's a big pickup for him. That increases his stack by a significant percentage.
Yeah, he's very close to Oliver now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
he's
think short stacks you're limited to just shoving and folding, but there is a lot more leeway at final
big hands
tables to do
here.
these non all-in
Jacks,
raises and
queens, sevens, ace five suited, although this will probably become two-way affair quickly. And Simon kind of very unfortunate, nine-handed, gets jacks, has a stack. He's covering by, at 60. He's got 1.5, I'm sorry, 2.5 stack as 1 million to 2.5 million. And this is not lovely, not amazing.
no, it's tough because you don't expect Orman to be very light here, but Jax is quite a good hand, and he is going to put it in. I can't say I'm surprised by that, but he can't be loving it.
Nope. 4-1, and suits are covered as well. So needs to find a jack, or we're gonna flip flop, make things a little tighter here as no suit was alive. River needs a jack only, or we'll see a double. Not gonna be it. That is a four clubs coming out, and it is running. The Craig goes all in, running hot, has been awarded there. 2.3 million. Simon's still fine, but that is gonna tighten things up a little bit as DV still is cooking with, I guess, still over double seconds. So really,
More than
again,
double,
great
yeah.
position
That
for him.
was I don't know if I mean it was a slight negative for DV because now the player on his left has more chips, but evening the stacks out is also quite good for him.
Yep.
So I think we're gonna see Ace Queen shove here and King 10 suited fold.
Yeah, covering to little backup, a little nice when you don't. You're also covering by a significant amount. Hand kind of plays tough out of position. I think again against that position, you're right. Maybe if it's against Simon or Simon Beckman or Vlad opening, it's different. But he's just covering cut off open there.
Yeah, easy shove for 20. And I think with Ace Queen suited, you might have seen a non all in 3-bet with the intention of calling, but with Ace Queen offsuit, you wanted to shove and take the pot down. You're not really looking to
Yep.
inflate out of position because you're not going to flop as well.
Yep, little nuances, a little bit of a in-depth look here from B Paris. We have got almost 100 hitting the thumbs up, 1,400 watching. Make sure we get the giveaway ready for you guys, and you can do so by hitting the thumbs up and also
This is
Getting
an
some scratch.
incredibly light open with king 3. Can't say I like it. I think these players are too good for you to be trying to push them around with trash hands like that.
Yeah, we're definitely getting to see if he can make some adjustments. But so far, Depatuem has came in very light, very light with his raising and some of the spots he's doing.
And Simon getting a good price here with king 10 off, and that's actually going to be performing reasonably well against DV's range. I mean, in this case, he's a good deal behind, but it's certainly good enough to call against a player who's incentivized to open very wide. Unfortunately for Simon, he has flopped nothing here.
Yeah, be curious how DV proceeds. I guess he can do multiple things. He can bet
I
small
like
or
the
check.
check. I
He
think if you
does.
bet and get shoved on, it's really awkward. So I think with these stacks, I actually like the check from him. I can't imagine he's going anywhere on the turn, and it looks like he's not even going to get bet into. So he can just try to show this down now, or he can bet small on the turn, deny equity.
Yes, is kind of close. Simon, he's getting, has to think if a king or 10 is good. Does he want to peel? But nope, doesn't. And well played again with the real hand there. So he does get it done, and he is off and running at 5.9 million. You're right, almost 50% stack increase from where we started at 4 million on the dot. So he is really off to a good start. No one's got knocked out. He's just been vacuuming chips.
Vlada here will make the call, and he flops an ace. And Sven with a good hand pre, but an awkward flop for him. He's up against 2 overcards. He does check back, picks up a flush draw. We might see a small bet from Vlad, or he might just check.
And do want to remind everyone, I'm a pin tweet on X. It is $50 cash giveaway. You guys can retweet.
A big bet. It's the one thing I was not expecting.
Let's guess who wins. And you don't have to get the winner correct. You just guess, retweet. That'll make you eligible. Pick that up and get you guys some cash. Various ways concerning that. 100 even have hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. As we see ace 4, deuce 6. And this is not fun. Vlad knows he's in for a bit of a war. Deuce 6 off one of those hands, sort of the worst hands you might want to find. Expect him to attack. At the same time, DV's been pretty aggressive against this player. So I wonder if he does elect to not goes crazy there. But no, he does come and attack. And Vlad, this is one where you're good most of the time, but it's just not super fun. Like you're just gonna get out flopped. You're gonna
This hand is really hard to navigate post. I mean, I think he's supposed to call and go to a flop, or he might even be supposed to re-raise sometimes with some of these weaker ace-ups offsuits.
yeah, and he just gets out of the way.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him. I mean, he's supposed to continue there, but in practice, when you're playing for this much money against somebody who's willing to really put pressure on across all the streets, it is not easy to navigate a hand like that. And we got an action spot here, 8 against ace jack. I would imagine that ace jack is just going to call pre-flop, though. It's not really a spot where you want to reopen the action. And Vlada has flopped a set.
Gin. King 8.
Fortunately for him, his opponent doesn't have much. We might get one small bet out of him on the flop, and I don't think he's going to get a whole lot more unless the turn is an ace.
Yeah, these are dicey ones, right? Ace Jack, you're kind of way ahead of what you could be calling with pre-flop, and you don't get a great flop. And now on the turn, 2 8s, just still effectively the nuts. Sure, 6-7 is in there, 6-7 suited, but that for all practical purposes, you feel pretty nice with your hand here, flopping essentially the nuts, and then goes big though.
Yeah, some draws came in. He wants to really maximize against a king here. He's not trying to get paid by a hand like this, so he gets the flop bet, and that's it. And that's probably all he's getting out of him on that flop. I mean, on that board. Winds up again. Some of these short stacks are getting into the danger zone now, especially Simon. He's down to 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah, Simon super short. Oliver 750, not having the dream start. Boyka down to 850.
Beckman is going to pick that one up, and at this stage of the tournament, even just stealing the blinds can be a big boost. Oliver coming in with the raise off the short stack again. He might get a call out of this big blind. He does not. I think 8-2 suited is supposed to fold there, but based on what we've seen out of Deputatum so far, I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd called that one. Simon going to be raising this one. We'll see if Vlada wants to 3-bet here or if he just passes. I think both options are reasonable. He does go for the 3-bet. And that's probably going to do the trick. Simon basically banking on having these good high card blockers to open with here. He's not really looking to go to war with this hand against this stack from these positions.
All right. Vlada gets a pickup there and makes a nice 3-bet. Simon ace jack off. Looks like clear path ahead.
He might get a call out of the big one. It's only 5 bigs effective, and the big one has a suited ace. Nobody else is going to be doing anything, though. I think what he's going to want to do is raise to, like 4.5 big blinds just in case multiple stacks go all in behind him. Yeah, he doesn't quite raise all in. You see that a lot. And you're basically going all in with your hand, but if you get into some freak situation where like several other people go all in, then it makes sense for you to fold the rest and try to ladder.
Yeah, suited ace here for Sven. Understanding Simon is going to have a few lighter hands and does get it in. So Simon gets it in ahead. Ace jack, ace deuce suited, and flops the jack. Runner, spade needed. Not going to be the case. And now 9 would actually chop it. Otherwise, we'll continue. Deuce. There is that
It's
deuce.
deuce,
So he
but it's
needed the
no good
jack.
anymore.
Not good. Pair and pair. And we are on to a double up for Simon, who is now tied for the shortest stack. 3-way, essentially.
That was a huge, huge double for him. I mean, he's actually almost got twice as much as Boyka and Weiss, so he's in not a bad spot now. Or I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong Simon. he is basically in a 3-way tie. Got my Simons mixed up. Velocevic with another aces.
Man.
But he's not going to get paid very much here. I don't think Boyk is going with 6s from these positions. If he does, he'll be in a lot of trouble because the big one has a 6.
I'll tell you what, Boyka did attack him last time. Yeah, it's slightly different in different hands as well. So
yeah, the final tables, like the ace X suiteds go way up in value and the low pocket pairs go down in value. Oh, aces again.
wow.
Man.
Wow.
And he's up against Jacks this time too. So
3 times he's had 6 mil. And I'll tell you what though, yeah, the positions here might be fortunate if he just flats at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the chip leader and the guy's just going nuts, right? You could argue that
he's just flying.
I agree. I think he's got to, but you never know. You level yourself or say this guy's just out of line. And this is a problematic flop for him though.
Oh, absolutely. He's gonna get in a lot of trouble here because like you said, I mean, he's got to assume Velocevic just has all sorts of nonsense, and Jax looks really good on this board. Velocevic starting with a check, perhaps going for a. We'll see if he goes for the check raise or if he just check calls.
It's a
I mean,
great flop
both
for
ranges
aces.
here are very strong. Both ranges here are very strong.
The thing is, your opponent doesn't really ever have fives or threes, right? Or
Right.
even sevens. So like you're kind of, it's just such a ridiculously good flop, and you block ace king or like ace queen, like so. I think it sort of just looks like a big pair. And this is actually a very big problem now for our friend here, Ornan. I mean, this is nasty, man.
This is
This
really
is
tough. Yeah, because
nasty.
Orman, he doesn't really have aces or kings. He also doesn't have sevens or fives, like you said. So his range is like right around these good but not top tier pairs like
Yeah.
jacks and tens.
Oh
And
my
yeah.
goodness. He's gonna step
Oh
into it.
man.
He is in Barney rubble. This is a lot of trouble, B Paris. He's gonna need to hit the jack on the river. The turn is no help. 4 mil in the middle. Can he do it? Everyone can't breathe. They can't. This man has 8 million chips looking to go back to back jacks, taking down the tournament 2 weeks in a row. Let's see what is going on. And this is just, he's using the D negs. So sick. That is sick. Ace
That is a
10
really tough
off. What
spot
a
for the
what a
jacks. I mean,
spot. He did gobble one of those 2 mil stacks, and now he is 3x almost. So, I mean, Vlad is 3 mil, but he's at 8.3 million. So yeah, getting close to 3x second. I mean, this is a absolute runaway train right now.
that's nuts. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do with the jacks there. I mean, you kind of have to bet the flop and you get check raised, and it's just like, man, it's so brutal. And I think Simon's going to shove here and run right into kings. I think threes on the cutoff for 10 is plenty good enough to shove.
Yeah, we could be down to 6 pretty quick. At 4, we'll start the giveaways. Must hit that thumbs up. We got 110 thumbs up out of 1,500. I know we can do better than that, guys. It takes a second, means a lot to the stream. Hope you're having fun. Been great to be doing these shows with you for a long time. Bryan been on here again. We're going to get the info on his course that he does with Wasserman as well. And here we go. Kings to threes, doesn't hit the 3, and it could be down to 6 quick.
It'll be
As
7 because
Vlada,
we started with 9. Most of the tables played 8-handed, but the final table is 9-handed. And the rest goes in. Simon is going to need runner straight or a 3. There's the first runner.
he's got a shot.
That's a very good turn for him. There it is.
Wow. Simon Matson, listen to me. You're not one of the Mount Rushmore all-time greats and don't hit a couple get theirs, and that is running cold. 1.3 million. I will say that's my guy, my pick.
Yeah,
my little luck never hurt.
I got DV,
him
so I'm
from
still
the
feeling
deep,
pretty good about my spot.
depths.
But
Unbelievable.
your multiplier on Simon is going to be very high if he manages to keep running it up. And Vlada here with a hand that is normally going to be open with the big stack on the immediate left. He passes on it, which I think is totally reasonable. Boyka goes for the shove there with an ace, blind versus blind. That is plenty good. Boyka now with 5s. I would imagine we see him shove again unless Velocevich wants to open this hand, which I don't think is unreasonable. I mean, this hand is pretty garbagey. We might see Boyka shove over the open here. He's got to know that Velocevich is opening the cutoff a lot wider than normal. And I understand the non-all-in sizing. I don't know if I like going to only half the stack because you do offer Velocevich a chance to call a little bit wider, maybe the hand like Queen Jack suited or something. I think I'd rather go to like, leave myself 1 or 2 big blinds and put the rest in. But either way, he takes it down. And he's got 6s, but there's kings. Oh, wow. Velocevich is going to run into it here. Open jamming, putting the ICM pressure on everyone. And Sven Anderson, I think the king snapped so fast that he's probably going to be able to get away from the 10s here.
Yeah. Does get away. And DV, can he do some sorcery here?
He's got a good hand for it. Ace 4 suited is
got a chance. Got a chance. Needs some help on the river.
No, it's a spade.
Yeah, it looked AC, but no, that's not. That is it can't be the ace of spade, and there is an 8. So that is a double up. And Deputy Dame is gonna go ahead and get in a good spot. And actually, yeah, lucky for Sven. That could have been nasty. King's 10.
That could have been ugly. I mean, I think he's probably supposed to call if it folds to him. But he's calling off 30 bigs. But yeah, you see Velocevic doing some big stack plays there, just open jamming into all these shorter stacks with a hand that if you get caught, you're always going to have 30% unless you run into exactly aces. And if you look at some of the ranges for what people are supposed to call with against shoves like that, they're really, really narrow. So it may seem like a lot to shove there. But when the stacks are distributed like this, you can get away with shoving really wide as the big stack. And Deputatum putting in a very fast, huge 3-bet there, taking it down. Bluffed out a better hand. We see Matson folding the big blind there with Queen 8 off. That's a hand you would normally defend with and chippy even at final tables. Those sorts of hands are going to go way down in value.
Yeah, there's a huge jump again as we see between first and second. There's jumps along the way, and I tell you what, Simon though, he's one of those guys. Like it's those hands happen, right? You get it in, it just kind of plays itself. You're behind, you're short. You got to go with threes. You get there, but then it's about what you do. Do you get one ladder? Do you chip up, or do you make the most of it? So here he goes with 1.2 million. Let's see if he's able to get himself back in the game. And it's pretty wide open. I mean, look at the stack sizes right now. 1.2 million. I mean, this is an opportunity for a lot of ICM maneuverability. You got Vlad at 2.2. Sven with 1.8, Depututum, who is very aggressive and we know is going to be putting chips in play, has 2.6, but then the rest are very even. 1.1, 1.2, 900. Oliver short at 600. So, 1.2 million is very maneuverable right now, and you still have 20 blinds.
And Deputatum came in as 8th, right? Now he's in 2nd, so or maybe he was 7th. But either way, he's in 2nd now. He's in a great spot. And Velocevic here with the King Jack, not looking to call off there. He's very happy to let these short stacks stay alive, and that would have been a little bit of a close call anyway. Now Velocevic getting jacks on the small blind. This guy just keeps getting hands, man. It's wild.
He did get up to
So
8
I'd
million.
imagine we see a small raise from him. It's going to look like it's kind of light, and then Boyk is going to shove ace-8 and run into jacks is what I think is going to happen here. There's a small raise. Yeah, so Velocevic is going to be open jamming a lot here, but he doesn't want to open jam his very good hands, and he wants to small raise with like a lot of really crappy hands, so it makes sense for him to raise call this one. And Boyka
He's going to get another fantastic position here. Let's see if he can. Okay. Ooh, that's a little really overkill. He needs runner, and that is the DD GG drawing dead. Good game.
Oh,
next
quads and for good measure.
Quad. Let's just, everyone's just people are just applauding at this point. They take a bow. He is running hot. He is at 8 million, and we are down to 7. So we do lose that second player. We go 9, 8, 7, and there's kings.
Let's throw some quads in there. Why not? So Deputatum has a playable hand in the small blind. I think he's supposed to just flat here, but he might throw in a 3-bet the way he's been playing these. He does just flat. Fortunately for him, one of his jacks is dead, and he does hit a flop that's going to get him in trouble here. Oliver folded a jack in the big blind, so he has one less out. And Vlada coming in with the big bet. Ooh. Vlada is really getting unlucky with kings at this final table.
Yeah, this is nasty, and this board is so wet. 2 flush draws. There's
money's getting
there's straight draw now, and this is gonna be just snap jam. And I'll tell you what, Vlad is gonna kind of hate it, but I think he'll end up to call, right? It's just like
2 flush draw. He does block both flush draws, so I guess that cuts down on the combo draws slightly, but
so they're actually recommending fold by a wide margin. And he is going to call, though. Can't blame him. 4.5 in the middle. Needs a king, deuce, 7, or we're going to see a massive pot, and it is an 8, and that is not great for Vlada. He went, I believe, 2nd. Brutal. He is out in 7th, and that is shaping up for DV's licking his lips. 8 million to 5 million, and the chips are getting gobbled. This could be very quick work, man. This is a wild breakout of chips right here. And we see Simon with 2 9s. Look at a lot of
that was really unlucky for Vlad. I'm kind of surprised Wizard wanted to fold so much there. I mean, I guess it must be ICM adjusted if it's adjusting folding that much. Because I think in Chip EV, that's a very easy call. And Velocevic flatting very wide here, trying to get pressure on post flop. We'll see if Oliver takes his ace jack and shoves it this time. Got to be tempting. I'm not sure what. Yeah, okay, he's folding. Yeah, Oliver's in a close spot. If Oliver folds and Sven's going to call, but I think we're going to see Oliver jam here a decent percent of the time. Maybe not. I mean, he might just want to get out of the way and let Simon go out of position against Velosevich and hope that he gets a bust out here so he can ladder again. Very tough spot for Oliver.
He does have 11 blinds through the big blind. So, yeah, he does
Yeah,
get out of the way.
he
And now he
passes.
will
I
see
think that
likely a
makes
three.
sense.
Handed affair. I'll tell you what, ace nine suited though doesn't necessarily play well. It happens to have decent equity here, but you're going
He's
to be
got
in
a
some.
call in the big blind. He's getting too good of a price, I think. But he actually hit the good flop. He only had 2 aces left to hit, and now Simon is going to be not really putting much more money in. Velosevich does have some equity here as well with bottom pair backdoor flush draw. We'll see if he tries to bully everyone or if he just tries to show it down. I think we'll see Simon just give up here 3 ways. I can't imagine he's putting any more in this pot.
Interestingly enough, ace jack would have got the gin flop, right? Would have short stack. He would have been in a very good position. And nine's going to come out
He's
and
betting.
take a shot here.
Wow. Can't say I was expecting that.
Shout out to my man Miguel Capriles in the house. As we see, I think he knows you, Bryan, as well, Miguel. And we're seeing he comes in for the 7-8 suited, and nines actually is in a great spot, but out of position. This could be hard for him. He could end up getting put in a tough spot.
Yeah, this is interesting. And Sven folds the best hand in the big blind. I mean, I can't say I blame him with these other 2 stacks in there. It looks like you're behind, but he was actually way, way ahead. Simon is going to go for the second barrel and take it down. Very nicely played by Simon there. I was not expecting him to turn his hand into a bluff on that board, but I guess he just figured that he had an uncapped range and his opponent's flat is never going to really have better than like a miracle 2 pair. He's going to have a lot of like mediocre 1 pairs. So Simon bluffing his way through that one. We see Deputaten continuing his unorthodox play, but it worked out great for him that time. A 3x with the king 3 offsuit. He has all 4 stacks behind, so it's a great spot for him to sort of expand his range, and now I think it's going to play to his strengths here.
For sure. That's a great point, as king 9 is coming in, and ace jack is a pretty nice hand when you got this guy who's opening wide and has a raise first and pretty high.
Yeah, great spot to shove ace jack here.
Yeah, and he's going to likely get no resistance. And I do want to remind everyone on X, you can go to Jeff Bros Poker, check out the pin tweet, just retweet and guess who wins. That's all you got to do for a chance at 50 cash. So I am going to put that link one more time here. And what happened to your X again? Didn't you I know I've got your new one here, but it got lost.
My old one got hacked. I never got it back. I was unable to get through to support, so I got to run up my new one, but it's still pretty small for now.
Yep, that's not fun. As ace king there. Good flop.
So we're going to see Simon open the button here with ace-8, and then Deputaten in the big blind has a hand he can do a few different things with. I'd imagine he just calls, but he might shove and try to put the ICM pressure on Simon. I mean, I think Simon, maybe Simon doesn't even open. No, he does open, okay. I've seen some of these spots where, you're like third or fourth and you're raising into 1 and 2, your opening range gets like ridiculously tight in some of these spots. A small 3-bet, I wasn't expecting that.
Ace 7 suited, and he is going to attack. Ace 8 actually has him crushed.
Got him. I thought we might see a shove. I thought we might see a flat. I did not expect the not all in 3-bet, but Deputaten is keeping us all on our toes, and it's working out.
Deputaten is he's got a little moxie, a little pep in his step. He might be a worthy opponent for DV here to go down the stretch, as we see everyone else kind of very interesting stack sizes. 3
flatting 9-8 off. 2 versus 1 in the small one. That is ambitious. Calling the flop. Wow, this guy is really Out there, man. It might
Just
work
a
out for him. He might be able to steal it on the river.
Yeah, and GTO Wizard latest version. Just a heads up that it's the latest version. It is ICM, so we're doing ICM for the final
Okay,
table.
okay. Yeah, because some of the sins earlier looked like they might not have been ICM, but that last
There
one
was
definitely did.
there was a tech issue before as well.
Okay, the wanting to fold kings seemed very ICM oriented. Oh, he shows. Okay, this guy came to play. I mean,
Yeah,
we didn't get the wizard on that one, but I can't imagine it wanted to flat 9-8 off there.
he's playing. That's for sure. He is in there
Yeah,
playing.
it's good
Ace
to
eight.
see, man. You know, it's nice. It's nice to see someone coming in here who's not one of these solver nerds, just
I'll tell you
battling.
what. Again, Simon getting a little bit light. Not a crazy open is going to open into those stacks in the blinds, and he then gets flatted by the ace 10 off. He's actually in bad shape here again. Let's see. It's saying to check most of the time. Let's see if he does that.
No, he's betting. I don't like the bet against this guy, but his multi-barrel with nines worked out. So
All right, saying
I don't
still
think trying to bluff this guy is going to work out for you, especially after he showed that 8-9 offsuit in the last hand. Yeah. Okay. Well, this doesn't look good for Simon. He's not going to have very many fives in this range.
All right, saying check for Simon.
Yeah, Simon has an ace in his hand, and I think most of the hands he wants to target with a bluff would be ace highs. So I think this hand does not make for a compelling bluff. But you know, he did bluff those nines.
And ace 10 is going to get to show it down. So
Ace
another
10,
pick up there
deputy
puts
taught
him
him. He's crushing, man.
over 6 million. He is absolutely
Wizard
crushing.
wanted him to bluff jam the river, but he didn't need to.
Yep, Queen Jack suited. Ooh, Simon having a real hand. So does the Velzovich.
He's been getting beat up, but he might come in for another. I mean, he is supposed to open this hand, but I don't know. I mean, the stacks have become so skewed that you're going to see some really interesting ranges, I think, if you look at the solutions for this sort of spot.
I mean, Queen Jack suited could actually put a lot of pressure on these stacks right now, right?
I
Because
think
like
if he
kind
does
of
continue, it's going to be by flatting. He seems to like flatting.
Yeah, I just think this exact juncture, though, I agree with you. This is a hand plays so well, but it's just like with the other four stacks that are so short, right? Like a hand that's not premium isn't going to want to. But yeah, I think Queen Jack just has
It
a
lets
lot
him
of
put so much
playability.
pressure on post flop too, because like his opponents just have to play so passively post flop that he gets to overrealize equity, he gets to overbluff.
Yep.
And he's happy to just try to show this one down.
Nice
Unfortunately
turn.
for him, Simon has picked up a nut flush draw. Goes for the bet small. Velocevich will call. Simon makes the nuts. I wonder if we see a check from Simon here. I would kind of like it. I think it invites Velocevich to bluff. You block an ace, so there's less hands that can call you if you bet. Wizard seems to agree with me.
Wonder if he goes blocker bet
That's also an option. Yeah, I don't think big betting makes
like
sense.
120. I could see him bet 120 here or something. Try to
A little bigger. And Velocevich might find the fold here. I don't think he's going to be beating a whole lot with his hand here. Wizard wants to bluff a little bit. It mostly wants to call, though.
And
He does correctly
he
find the fold.
finds the 6% fold incorrectly there via wizard recommendation. So again, just playing above the rim, getting it right.
The ICM sims are real interesting, man. The range has changed so much, especially depending on the specific stack sizes and everything. So we had a gut shot and overs against an under pair. Deputy Totem picks up his own gut shot. And now these stacks are so close, actually, that Velocevich can't really like bully him. He has to really respect his potential. But he did bully him there. He went for the overbet and took it down.
A couple real hands here. Sixes. Oliver getting short. First in, does he want to go ahead and rip it? He's going to be in bad shape any which way here. If
He does rip it. Yeah, he's in tough shape. If Sven continues, we might actually see a three-way all in here. I don't know what Sven's going to do. He's way ahead. He folded. I think that makes sense. And then obviously Simon is going to put the rest in here.
Yeah, this could be take us down to five-handed and take us with Simon coming from ninth into healthy-ish third, or right around
Yeah,
third.
good pick.
Yeah,
he took the underdog.
Ooh, the wheel draw though, powerful.
Yeah, he's got 27% or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's got the 3 or the 4, and it's a 72% favorite for Ace King. Does pair chop outs possible 23% of the time. He's gonna be winning with the Ace 4 or not. It Ace King high G down to 5. Get those thumbs up in the chat. Get the subscription now. Almost 2,000 watching. We are having ourselves an interesting stream as we are getting ready to go four-handed very quickly. What are we talking about?
This has been a fun one. There's been a lot of really interesting hands.
Yes.
I mean, we came out blasting with that King 6 5-bet from Velocevic.
No, it really set the tone today to be a fun one. And the chips, how they broke, I think we're shaping up for it. I mean, DV has to be a pretty big favorite, but Deputy Team has a bunch of chips and also maybe plays a little higher variant style. So, heads up.
Every time I've watched one of these, there's always been at least one or two epic hands.
Yeah.
The first one I did, it was Adamo against a European, and the 6-bet shoved with Ace 8 offsuit against Ace 6 offsuit or something. That was a while ago, so I don't know if you remember that one, but
yeah, this is no, exactly. I do actually. There are memorable hands. It's like there's so many streams, but the ones do stand out. There's certain hands, certain wins, certain performances that just don't.
And then the last one we did, we had Duco Haven. He was on a heater at the time, and I think he 5-bet with, or maybe 6-bet with like Ace 4 off 3-handed or something, and it worked out. It was, yeah. Every time we do one of these, we get some really interesting spots. These are very fun and very educational. Ooh, the check raise. This might actually work. I mean, Sven has the best hand by a mile, but it's very hard for him to want to put the rest in with a
right. Yeah, it really comes down to too. It's like if you're getting bluffed, do you think your opponent's going to slow down or not? And then because like the Queen 6 too, it's not even 2 overs to the 7. There's no flush draws here. Like it's pretty spicy. And here's the
Sven
river
does
now.
not believe him.
Does he follow through? Does he
really? One key to this hand, I think, is Sven is lacking in like Ace X and pocket pairs because he didn't jam over the open pre. And it looks like Deputanen's giving up on the river, so Sven is going to take this one down.
All right, nice pickup there. I want to remind everyone, weekly newsletter on. It does go out on Substack, so that is basically today actually highlighting the podcast Bryan and I did we probably did that a few years ago now. It's been a while ago, also showcasing Bryan's career and then also the final table. It puts on who is there, the payouts and all that. So I did put that link. It is free and you guys can check that out. That is weekly, that goes out in conjunction with the stream. So I do happy to say that got moved to Substack, and I think you guys will enjoy that. So it is there, and appreciate you guys checking it out as we will continue on 5-handed. 4-handed will start the giveaways, and on X, that is live currently there for you to look at.
Deputanen taking that one down there and some big stack on big stack action. Checking the flop, betting the turn. Interesting line from him, but good enough to win. And I think we'll see Beckman go with the 7s here. He's in last by a lot, so he doesn't gain that much by waiting, and he's got to be well ahead of Velocevic's opening range.
All right, 5-handed. Yeah, this thing's going quick. We are at the 70K big blind. Again, one of the things when we lose players quickly, the blinds just went up, and you can see the upper left of your screen for the information. That is one thing when we do drop players in the first hour, first 30, 40 minutes quickly, the blinds go quicker because there's only 5 players or 6 players, and that means the hands go faster, so the blinds increase faster, as it's not by time, it's by player. So something to keep an eye on, as we are an hour and 15 minutes in, and we're already down to 5 as king queen suited and 7-10 here. Tango.
I like that they do it by number of hands, so as to avoid the potential for clock management. And Velosevich coming in with the big bet here. I'm trying to put pressure on his opponent's unpaired hands. And Simon does have overs with a backdoor flush draw. I don't think we will see him fold to 1 bet.
Yeah, the ace, maybe not so scary for Simon. King, queen suited as played here. Let's see if understanding wide ranges, and he does get to potentially a river now.
This is a good river for Velosevich to maybe bluff on. I mean, he certainly has a lot more threes in his range than his opponent, and he has, basically the worst showdown you can have. So we might see a big bet from him.
Some sort of small bet.
Simon is going to bet. And that's going to do it. Simon leveraging the fact that he has more aces in his range, and Velosevich, I guess, is trying to bluff out a weaker pair. He didn't need to bet there to win, but certainly it makes it easier by forestalling the possibility that he gets bluffed on the river. Looks like you picked the right Simon. My Simon is still in, but not doing as well.
Yeah, he's going to open queen 10 suited, a real hand. 6 is also a claim to the pot. See how this plays out. And the shortest stack.
Yeah, he's the shortest stack, so it's harder for the big stacks to pressure him because he doesn't have as much to lose. So Velosevich does go for the 3-bet. Okay, no 4-bet from Deputatum. The 3-bet's going to be good enough to take it down there.
Yeah, his risk premium really by far the lowest, right? He's got $1 million. He's half stacked the other 2 short stacks. I mean, king queen off, definitely if your opponent's capable of 3-betting with queen 10 suited, maybe worth a think. Although, yeah, to call it off with king queen high, probably not going to do it.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's got to be close though. I mean,
he
also opened a 2.5x, so he's got more money in there. He's going to get a little bit better of a price to put the rest in. Sven deciding if he wants to overcall the big blind here with this hand. And Chippy V would be a very easy call. Oh, he's 3-betting. Wow. Seeing Sven getting out of line here for the first time. I don't think we've really seen him do much until now. And Matson is probably supposed to shove this one, but it's not the easiest thing in the world when you are in this medium stack versus medium stack sort of spot. If he shoves and he's wrong, he loses the opportunity to outlast Beckman. But ace jack suited on the cutoff is a fantastic hand, so he calls.
Wow.
And now Deputatum could throw a wrench at the works by back shoving, but he overcalls. Okay.
Whoa.
I don't know if I like that.
This is a pretty crazy pot. Queen 4 suited, just in no man's land.
Yeah, he's got to just give up here 3 ways. I don't think he can possibly try to continue now.
No, this would be pretty crazy. I mean,
I didn't mind the 3-bet. I think it had a good leverage against the 2 other stacks, and maybe you get heads up against the weak range from the small blind or fold him out. But and now Deputatum actually does have pretty good equity here. He's got 40-something%, I think, or maybe a little less.
He's got a 5 or a diamond. That's good. And Simon actually is sort of in a SPR less than 1, top pair, top kicker, but sort of a weird one, right? You could be dead.
Very weird, yeah. Especially in a 3-way 3-bet pot. I mean, you might have the best hand now, but like both of these other guys should have pretty strong ranges. So if you put the rest in, there's a chance you just get it in like dead. And if you check, then your hand is only getting worse. So it's really not easy for him.
Yeah, I think he's considering shoving here.
I thought he should have just shoved pre. He goes for the small bet. That might do the trick.
Wow.
Yeah, he folds
Deppy.
out the hand that had equity against him, and then Sven obviously has to fold too. So nicely done by Simon there.
I wasn't sure Deputy would just fold there with the fives and a diamond, honestly.
Well, he's
Like, although,
sandwiched, right? And he's also up against the squeezer,
yeah,
so he could easily
right.
just be dead.
Logically, yes, but not. I just based on his plays, check raising the queen six suited on the ace a7 board on the turn. Like he's known to put in a few uncharacteristic plays, and this is bad timing for the Velzevich as ace king suited is tier one qualified, great hand, queen king suited. Also for DV's standards, he's opening wide. He's got a great hand here.
He can just call this sizing with position. I mean, he can also four bet shove if he thinks Sven is likely to be light here, but he's getting a great price. His hand plays really well.
Yeah,
And he's going to get away on this flop. This is a very bad flop for King Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, you're exactly. He didn't just rip it in, and he did take a flop and probably save a lot of chips, as you said.
He calls the flop though. I think with one heart on the board, you can call the flop. I don't know if I like calling the flop with this particular hand, but I don't think we'll see him put any more chips in unless Sven throws a check in here. Sven does go for the second barrel, takes it down. Milosevic is dwindling a bit, but he's still in the lead. Now he's going to be in another big stack versus big stack spot. He does have pretty good equity here. He's got just under 40%, I think, against ace king offsuit. And one thing Deppy taught him is doing is he's acting very fast, which I think is like that was a really fast 3-bet. Also a really fast c-bet. And timing tells online aren't super reliable, but often if someone is acting that quickly, especially in a spot of this magnitude, it does give away a little bit of info about the strength of their hand. Milosevic would have liked to hit an ace on the turn, but I think now, facing another half pot out of position, he's going to have to let this one go.
Yeah, Matson. I mean, dude, I'll tell you what, he is really in the rear view coming through here now. 3.2 million.
Yeah,
And
it's a hell of a
of
comeback,
course,
man. He came in with like 10% of what he has now, maybe a little more, 20%.
I mean, granted, again, he did get in threes to kings, right, as the short stack. So that's what my point was, though, that those hands happen. You get short, you kind of get subject to some luck. But then what happens when you do hit it? Are you able to maximize? Can you make something of it? Can you get going from there? He's from there, played very well. Of course, had to get lucky at that moment as we have 2,000 viewers on again. Very much taking us into the final month here of the year. Wish everyone hope we had a good Thanksgiving in the U.S. and obviously a holiday season coming up in the Bahamas. 60 mil, 26K super main event, exciting one. Also some bonuses. If you cash the WSOP main event, there's a 25K bonus. If you had cashed that and you cash this, also I believe 7 or 9 cashes at the World Series. If you get a 25K bonus if you cash in that. So did you cash the main this year, Ryan?
I did not. I made day two, but busted near game day two.
How many cashes did you play the whole series or no?
I only played maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I think I got like 2 or 3. I played a lot of stuff at the Win though. I didn't play that many series events.
Okay, because yeah, there's some bonuses. I wasn't even aware I was going anywhere, but I just found out this week that was, or I had an email I missed, but that is, a nice bonus. You get a 25K bonus if you cash and you have done either of those two things. So kind of
that is a nice bonus.
Some of, we are down to 5, 4-handed plus. We will get a we will get to see the bonuses get awarded. So that is, we're already up to 170 thumbs up. Appreciate everyone doing that, as we will keep it rolling.
The Deputy Totem's actually taking the chip lead here. Just kind of nuts. He's our unknown player coming in either 7th or 8th, and now he's chip leading on the immediate left of Velosevich. Matson's going to win that pot, though.
Yeah, Queen 3, 5-10 suited. Going to open up here, as he did hit up 8 million. Now he's sort of up stuck. The great Phil Locke also just confirmed for the Bahamas. He was coining that term. You know, if you get a big stack and then you kind of drop down some, but you're still in great position, you might mentally feel like you're up stuck from your peak, which is true, but you got to be able to shake that off and make a new situation. He's still essentially tied for the chip lead, so he's totally fine.
It's one of the toughest parts of MPTs is just treating every spot like you just have to maximize whatever spot you're in. And, you know, you can get great luck, you can get bad luck, you can get in whatever order, but you have to just play the hand in front of you and just maximize whatever spot you're in. And that's a really important skill to learn.
All right, Jack 10
take that one down.
Takes it down. Oh, I got like a big bug.
Yeah, flush draw and flush draw action here.
Man, I got some
the heart
crazy
comes
looking.
In. This is gonna get ugly.
Tell you what, I saw like a big. Is that a cockroach in my? Oh shit!
Yeah, I noticed that a lot. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, like there's one crawling on your wall.
Come on, man, that's not cool. I've never seen that before. Excuse me, guys. That he's like eyeing at me. Oh no, not like this.
He was behind you earlier. I didn't want to say anything.
He's right on my coffee. You got to be kidding me, man. Oh, this is nasty. Is he going in my drink? All right, excuse me. I've never seen this before. This is actually wild. I can't. That's crazy. I've never in my house. I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen one. And there's literally a cockroach crawling on my. He's on my keyboard. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. He's on my keyboard. Come on, man. Oh, dude, what do I even do? Are you supposed to kill it? What do you do? They're fast.
You can't kill them, man. They survived nuclear war.
Holy shit. What is he? Where is he going? Excuse me. I need a timeout, Tech. I don't even know how to get him.
The commentary here.
It's actually crazy though. Like he's looking at me. He's all around my desk. Shit.
Maybe I missed a hand
go for the kill. You think I can get him? Oh, he's in my closet now. Hold on. I'm going for it. Sorry, guys.
We'll let Jeff go hunting here while
Ryan, take it over.
See what's going on this hand. Simon opens the button with kings. Deputy Totem is defending with 8-9 suited. Not much for Deputy Totem on this flop. The previous hand, we missed a big one. Velosevich tried to bluff the river with his busted hearts, but unfortunately for him, Deputy Totem had made a straight. So Deputy Totem taking a bigger lead now. Velosevich is still ahead of where he came into the day, but not by as much. Deputy Totem calling the flop here with nothing but a backdoor flush draw. He does hit a very good turn for his hand.
First, sorry about that.
I saw him on your wall earlier. I didn't want to distract.
You saw some? Did you really? You didn't see?
I saw him crawling up the wall. I was like, I'm not gonna, point out the cockroach or anything. But
wow,
Simon might actually get bluffed on this river. This is a horrible run out for kings. All he beats is like pure bluffs, and Deputy Totem floated the flop with nothing but a backdoor flush draw.
That was not. I didn't know. That freaked me out. The thing they're fast.
I should have warned you. I didn't think he'd come up to your desk. Yeah, Simon got bluffed on the river there. That's rough for him. I mean,
at least he didn't like climb up on the camera. That would have been pretty nasty.
That would have been good for the stream though.
Shit. Yeah. All right. Still fast.
I saw some foreshadowing there a few minutes ago. He was just on the wall, so I figured it wasn't a big deal. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you got a cockroach in your house, but
That caught me off guard. Wow, that could have been.
You're in the
Yes.
Keys right now, right?
I'm in Miami area, not
Yeah, so
Key
I mean,
Biscayne.
it happens. Florida, you got bugs.
It is part of it. But you just don't
It's a
expect it
beautiful
in your
state and beautiful weather, but there are bugs.
on your desk. So yeah, apologize. Five-handed ace queen, big hand here. And again, not really when you want to be limping, trying to trap, right? You just want to try to get it in and get the guy. Maybe you could raise not all in, but you just want to kind of
Yeah,
hope
ace
to
queen
get
offsuit. I
someone
think you'll
called there. You
notice
don't want to
jamming.
limp, let him check back, hit a hand like that. You just
Right.
got to try to get the pot there. He picks it up, 2.2
Yeah, the
million.
offsuit ace X's jam a lot there. Like suited ace
Yeah.
queen, maybe you 2.5 or something, try to induce. But like offsuit ace X, you're ahead pre, but you don't really want to like see it flop that much.
Yeah, what is the nuclear war? Cockroaches, they're just known to be resilient, or what is the
They're
what is the
supposed to
bait?
survive. The cockroaches are the only thing that survives if there's ever a nuclear war, is what I've heard.
Really interesting. I think I have heard
They're
something like that.
indestructible.
Okay, well that guy made it out. He left
Yeah,
wherever
see,
he went.
you can't kill them. You just gotta wait them out.
Unbelievable. All right, keep it going.
Milosevic going to keep getting beat up here. Deputatum's pulling away from him a little bit. This is not how I expected this final table to go, but
I
our
told you he is a
homegrown.
wild card. What was his price pre-flop? Because that
Oh, it was
is
great. You almost got as good a price on him as Matson, and he came in with like twice as many chips. And we're going to see Beckman shove here, I think, with King Jack, and we might see Milosevic call King Queen.
let's put the link to your course, pokertraining.com/MSM. It's in there. Mid stakes mastery. And we are going to see a short stack 600K all in. King Queen has him in bad shape. Everyone with the king, as D Velasquez is going to call. And there are giveaways, $350 tickets. We'll about start those actually four-handed if we get there. King, Queen, King, Jack. Does it hold? Interesting
Ooh.
flop. Pretty even still. Needs a 9 ace queen. 3-1 favorite now. One card to come. And
There
it
it is.
is
There
the
it is.
queen. No, didn't really feel like a doubt. Didn't
I
really
was going to
feel
say
like.
Milosevic's magic seemed to be running out, but not yet. He's still got some left in the tank. So now we're down to 4 players. We got a little bit of play here. I mean, even the shortest stack has 25 big blinds. Simon is going to open the cutoff here. Milosevic still coming in for the light flats. He's going to be well ahead on this flop. But we have seen Simon be willing to multi-barrel these ace high X flops before. He does not do it this time. I think we'll see check here.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good card for
nice.
Simon. He's got
Drills
the
it.
second nuts. Milosevic still has middle pair and a gut shot, so might pay him off one street.
Yeah, he's drawing to a chop. Not a great spot. Someone just told me in Venezuela that roaches fly. That's insane. Flying cockroach. That'd be a deal breaker for me. Living somewhere.
The flying ones, man. Geez, I don't know about that. And that is going to kill the action, I think. Unless Milosevic tries to bluff, which is possible. Simon's hand just went from amazing to very mediocre. Simon going for the block bet. And Milosevic will get out of the way there.
And aces now for Deputum as the chip leader on the button. No real hand behind him though. Last week, the third giveaway winner, I did actually sneak it in. Budalotu. Good question, but we did get it in. And we are down to 4, so we can start that process. Sorry, I'm a little cockroach, man. Those things are off all around. So let's get that going. We'll get those giveaways going. The third giveaway there was done. I got to tell you, it was there. You guys can go to the end of the chat and replay that. But there was a third giveaway. Ace Jack picks it up. He's getting some hands here. He is chip leader 4-handed. Brazil looking to stamp a W here. and try to deny DV his, I believe, was it 4th title? It is 3rd. He's got 3 titles in 4 tries. That is super crazy
That's
as well in
nuts. I mean,
itself.
this is a tough field too. I mean, this is not like some soft final table you can just waltz over. You know, this is.
Yep, that's exactly right. Keyword. We're gonna get that out for you guys. This will be keyword 1 of 3.
Simon going for the light 3-bet here. I would imagine we see Sven jam this hand, but
Yeah, 2 8s. Big hand. Gonna be flipping. Gonna have some of these type of hands that you get to shed equity on. You're gonna just get folds and let's take it down.
Simon getting a little bit out of line there with an ace. I mean, it's never bad to 3-bet with an ace. Late position versus late position in a final table, basically. But he picked the wrong spot that time.
And again, want to remind everyone for the giveaway, just need to do it once, twice for good luck. 3 times is overkill. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. And there you go. That is the first giveaway keyword is GGWSOP space B Paris Poker. And then third part of that is, excuse me, insert your GG Poker username. So good luck to you. Don't need to do too many. If you don't have a GG username, if it's not a place, and there's aces. That number 4 for Velozovic.
Yeah, I think so.
Is number 4. You got it twice, I think, in the blinds as
Simon seems to be thinking about doing something here, but it will not work out for him if he does. Ooh.
And Simon with the little misstep. And what a life. He gets a huge 3-bet Simon from Simon. He gets to just min click it. And Simon's just going to puke. But what can you do? He's got to make it 1.2 and change, right? That's
yeah, there it is. 1.2 and change.
Cold min click.
And Simon back-to-back hands, getting out of line with ace-x offsuit and picking the wrong spot.
Yeah, bad timing, good timing for depending who you are. And D. Velazovic is going to pick that up as we see the King 9 suited, Queen 6, King 9 suited in the lead and the best draw. Queen 6 has a gut shot, needs the 9. And there we go to a river, though.
Yeah, we might see Deputy Tottenham bluff this river. He's going to bet the turn. It seems like a reasonable hand for him to bluff the river with as well. He does, but it's not going to work this time.
Nope.
He is raising. I'm kind of surprised. I thought he was just going to call, but now if Deputy Tottenham wants to be a real hero, he does block Queen 9, so he could just. I mean, he's thinking about something, so it's got to be a. Yeah, there's the fold. All right. Thought about it, but didn't do it. Like you said, the hands aren't going much faster now, so we should have another blind increase in one more orbit or so. Sven with a flush draw and an overcard, not going anywhere just yet.
All right, we got that first giveaway underway. Almost once we get 200, we'll announce that. 1,900 watching here as you're right. The King 3 does miss 7-8 high. No good, though. Can King 3 get to showdown here? And Deputy knows when you have 8 high, you got to bluff sometimes if you want to win. That's the way it works. He does get it, gets a good result. To be honest, he's had some wild plays, but he's also had some pretty good instincts and aggression in spots. And
yeah,
he's got himself a chip lead 4-handed. So credit to him. Good luck to him.
I think his style works a lot better shorthanded than it did at the full table.
For sure.
Shorthanded, you got to find a way to play a lot of hands to steal a lot of pots where both players don't have very much. When you're at a full table, especially with pay jumps to be made and things like this, the incentives are very different. Milosevic defending with a fairly weak hand here, but he does hit a better hand on the flop. Gonna call. And Deputatum gets there on the river. Check, check. That's going to be good.
That is enough, as the king is going to be good, as you said, up to 7.7, 6.3 per second, basically tied for third and fourth. And we are at the 100K big blind already. It's going very quickly today as we see the sub 20 stacks, 20 blinds, 17 blinds for our other two players, as the chip leader here.
We might have a long heads up match when we get there, though. I mean, this.
I don't know, man. I agree. It could, of course, but it's like these styles. I just think that I think they're gonna. I don't think it would be that long, but yes, if it's 60 blinds plus deep, that would it would you would think it would take more than a few hands. That's for sure.
I guess the hands go much faster heads up, as it is still 20
Yeah,
hands.
the blinds will keep running up here. We're already getting up. We'll get up to 6120. We'll come up here. Gonna pick the first winner again. Appreciate you guys hitting that thumbs up. It means a lot. We've got about 10% of you. I know we can get the 400 plus. We're at 190 right now, about 2,000 on, as we see Jack 9 suited for Simon. Going to come in for an open, I would imagine 17 blinds. Does get to open here. And King Deuce off will get out of the way.
Yeah, hard to defend hands like King Deuce off there. I mean, you do defend that in Chippy V, I think, but at final tables, the incentives are just so different. And I think we'll see a raise and a jam here. Can't imagine he's folding a suited king on the button. And here comes the jam. I guess he could 3-bet not all in. No, that's basically a jam.
Yeah, it does attack it. Does go for it, the committal all in, and King Deuce suited. Not much to think about, as let me get this first winner here. We are over 200. You guys are rock stars. We got a nice start on the giveaway, and then the X giveaway. Pin tweet. That's 50 cash. I think I got to pick. I did pick and already messaged last week's winner, so we'll get them paid. We can do it all today. We've already got 20 of you on that X giveaway, so a good chance for 50, 1 in 20 roughly right now. It gets up to around 40.
Deputatum's got the top pair here. Milosevic with nothing but a weak gut shot. Don't think we'll see it continue from him.
Yeah, gets out of the way, as it is still a 2 big stack, 2 shorter stack affair.
Yeah, we got some hands here, nines and queen jack suited. I think this makes for a pretty compelling flat out of the big blind. Not really a spot where you can. You could jam, but I think this hand plays so well post flop. You want to have it in the flat range. He does flat, hits a queen on the flop. We have seen Simon multi-street bluff with nines before. I don't know if we're going to see him do it again here.
Yeah, there's GTO Wizard coming in with the recommendation here.
Yeah, we're going to see him. I think the bet small makes a lot of sense. You might check with jacks. I think nines wants to bet a little more. You don't want the 10 or the jack to hit as much. It might just be a spot where you bet small this whole range too. We have a bet small and a call. I think we'll see. Oh, wants to bet small again, or is that from the flop? No, check on the turn. Okay. That's what I thought. So Simon's hand has gotten very bad now. He loses to a king, a queen, or an 8. We'll go check, check on the river. And Simon loses a small pot there. Pretty standard on both sides, I think.
Yep. Gonna not get a not all in race there, effectively a flip. All right, here's the first winner.
We see a raise from Deputatum. I'm not surprised to see a raise. I am surprised to see it be so small. I thought he would go at least like 3x or something. But his opponent had literal 7-2, so even a mid raise is good enough.
First winner there. Never say never. 9669. You are the first winner of $50 GG ticket. Got the X cash giveaway. Jeff Gross Poker pin tweet. That's number, that'll be one. And then we have two more $50 tickets. So get the keyword for you guys in a sec. Again, appreciate everyone coming on and hanging out with us. Queen 4 for Simon. He is dominating but folds. As we will go. King 7 suited for Simon off 12 blinds, and he is running into a monster in the big blind. Let's see what he wants to do. Probably still.
You might want to raise fold this one. I think it's a little too good to fold. It's a little too bad to shove. It's perfect to have in your raise fold range. It looks like that is indeed what he will be doing. Now we got some hands here. King, Ace King suited and Queen 10 suited. Going for the min raise again. I think Sven will just call this one with position. Neither player flops much, but they both have a little bit. Sven just folding the flop. A little bit too much ICM pressure there for him to call one street, even though he had an overcard and a backdoor flush draw. And a backdoor straight draw. Ooh, two pair for Simon. And check back from Deputatum. So he's probably going to avoid getting himself in too much trouble here, but he may surprise us. So we're going to keep checking. And Simon has all the cards on the board now. He's got two full houses.
Yeah, kind of has everything here.
The fullest of houses.
Yeah, he's got it all working and does go for a small bet.
And we'll see if Deputatum wants to look him up with king high here. It's not out of the question. He does. And Simon is going to show him all the boats. That puts him back into a closer contention with Sven here. Sven with jacks. Fortunately for him, his opponents have nothing. It's not enough to just get dealt a good hand. Your opponents have to have a slightly worse hand that can actually pay you.
Yep, that is a little bit of the problem in the game, but that's part of the beautiful the reason why it's interesting, because it's just everyone does a little bit different things in different spots, although it's very similar. And here Ace 4 suited actually might be able to force.
Yeah, I think jamming here seems really attractive. I don't know about not all in 3-betting. Sven might actually jam over this.
Yeah,
this is like sort of the textbook hand to 4-bet jam with. I mean, everyone knows Ace 5 suited. He did not that time, but I wouldn't have been surprised to see him do it. I think if I have Ace 4 suited there, I like either jamming or flatting more. And aces again for Velocevic.
This is 5 times. Has anyone got the counter at home? I think it's 5 for.
I believe it is 5. Yes, I'm not positive, but I think it's 5.
Be almost the same Jack 9 suited open as last time, with exact same stacks as we see.
And I wonder if he's going to throw in a flat here. It seems a little risky to let Deputatum overcall the small blind, so probably not, but wouldn't be out of the question. He has flatted quite a bit. He goes for the small 3-bet, which I think makes more sense. Simon is going to have to fold to this. He's getting a fantastic price, but the way final tables work, you can't really call these 3-bets. At least not with this hand. I forget, do you have Sven as well, or do you just have Simon?
I took Sven, actually. I think was
So
my...
you got 2 of the players, but the 2 short stacks, and I got the second stack. All right.
Yeah, it's relatively. We got our
Yeah,
wild card
neither of
Brazilian.
us
I
believed
should have
in.
taken my Brazilian. That's disrespectful. I
I
almost always
know.
take him. This guy was too wild, too unknown for me. But he might
Well,
just punish all of us.
he's doing some stuff, man. Ace 9, I would imagine, is going to jam here, and Ace 8 is close. He's kind of varying his sizings a lot. Sometimes he's 2.5xing. Sometimes he's min raising blind versus blind. And Sven with another good one, Ace 5 suited, but now he is in a little bit more of a risky situation because he has twice as much as Simon. So he's a little more incentivized to play it safe. We'll see what he winds up doing here. Not all in 3-bet. Deputatum could 4-bet shove this hand. He just calls. Doesn't flop much. Sven has a pair. Wizard actually wants Deputatum to bluff here, which I think is a reflection on how intense the ICM pressure on Sven's stack is. Sven finds the check on the flop.
Yeah,
And now
so
Wizard
GTO
wants
Wizard saying
Deputatum
to
to
bet
bluff.
mid here, just complete airball.
Well, the pressure on Sven's stack is so overwhelming.
And
Check,
the
check.
6 on the
And
river.
now he could bluff here, but it's not very credible. He checked twice. He doesn't have a lot of 7s in his range. It'd be really sick if we saw it all in a call.
Yeah, he said saying to go all in. It likes the all in.
I think the all in makes sense, but I mean, Sven could find the call. He does not find
Wow.
the all in anyway. Sven's going to happily check the river.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great result for him. He's super thrilled on that board to get the check back and get about double his stack of what's remaining.
And yeah, Sven is pulling away from Simon a little bit here. Simon back in the short position that he entered the final table with, but he has made 5 jumps, so he's, he was coming in as a short stack, and he's already locked up more than 3x what he was going to get for ninth. So he's feeling pretty good about this, no matter which way it goes. Simon did make a couple of missteps with those ace-x offsuit hands, but easy to say in hindsight. Now Sven is doing quite well against the range of Deputatum on the button, but now that he has such a big lead versus Simon, he might just get out of the way with this one. He's also up against a somewhat wild player who's going to flat a little more than you'd expect. So this is definitely what you're supposed to do, is 3-bet not all in. We'll see if it works out for him. He does get flatted, but he flops the best hand by quite a bit. Wizard wants him to bet large. He bets 10%. Gets the call. All these players are doing a pretty good job with their time banks. Everyone's got a lot of time left except Simon. So in previous broadcasts we've done, people will get to heads up and they'll have 5 seconds left, and they're just basically clicking buttons as fast as they can. But in this tournament, it looks overwhelmingly likely that whoever gets to heads up is going to have a fairly significant time bank, and that's the time when you really need it because heads up is so complicated. So I think we're just going to see Spence flat this one. I don't think he wants to open himself up to 3-betting and having his stack pressured too much. Obviously, the hand is good enough to 3-bet get it in Chippy V, but at a final table, it's a little different. Sven's certainly not going anywhere just yet.
Yeah, you can see GTO saying Wizard recommending have to call Ace Queen on 666. Very wow. So this is suggesting bet mid or bet large. And now, I mean, Ace Queen is still like gotta feel okay, but you're against sort of if you're against a pair, you're in trouble. Ace Queen though, I'd say fold,
Wizard
so it's
wanted
kind
him
of
to fold the turn, which I guess is a reflection on the stack distribution. But he correctly calls twice and takes it down.
Yeah, he's on a little bit of a rampage right now.
It's good to know what the solutions say, but when you're up against people who are doing very different things, you have to be willing to adjust them.
Yeah, you have to be able to then go into the exploit streets, and did make the good decisions there.
That's part of what makes the game so interesting.
Yeah, it does. And deuces here against King 5. King 5 going to pair, and the ace on the river. Very wet board, draw heavy on the turn, as these guys are battling for the chip lead, and King 5 is going to have the nudge here.
Well, Velocevich is turning his hand into a bluff on the river, which I think makes sense. He probably has more ace-x in his range than his opponent, given the way the hand played out. Not going to
get him to fold the king, but could get him to fold a
9 or a 10.
9, maybe the 4, but nice pickup. 7 million, so still hanging on to the chip lead, but man, Spen has really come out of nowhere.
Yeah, Spen's closing in.
0.7 million. Yeah, he's got some good run going.
We're going to get a good three-handed match here. I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but Simon, it looks like he's hanging on by a thread now. Sven with ace high and the fake backdoor nut flush draw. He does not actually have drawn anything, but if the backdoor flush comes in, he blocks the ace. Wizard wanted him to fold the turn, but against this particular player, I can see why he didn't. And now he's got to decide whether he wants to call again on the river. He wanted him to fold the turn, but now wants to call the river.
Interesting. Very interesting. Ace 5, King 8, King 9, 9, 7, 7. So King 8 with the king. And
the ace 5 is a good bluff catcher because he doesn't block any of the straight draws. Like I think ace 10 would be a worse call. Ace jack. They're all the same in terms of showdown value, but with the 10 or the jack, you would block the jack 10s and 8 10s and things like that. And Sven took a bit of a hit there, but I can't really blame him the way he played the hand. Wizard wanted him to fold the turn, but it also wanted him to fold that other turn, and he was correct to not fold that one. I think we'll see a shove and a call here.
And we will see ace 5 for tournament life. It's an important one versus queen deuce suited. Ace 5, great start. Let's see if we get a sweat. Not much, needs the queen on the river. You see that about 6.8%, and not today. Simon's not going away as we go into four-handed play still. We'll get that next giveaway up at 3 as we are in a battle today. This has been a very fun final table. Things have slowed down, although the hands are going to go up again. The blinds at 6120 already. So, it is getting up and moving very quickly.
So Sven's got the best hand here. But Velocevich does have a gut shot. Sven has the backdoor nut flush draw. Check, check. Good turn for Sven. He still has to fade at 10, but if he bets the turn, that's probably going to be good enough.
Ace 8, 7, 8. So a ace 8 has a lock on the hand. 7, 8 did have the gut shot, and on the river actually has played. There's a chance. Does this DV just want to take a shot? No, he just seems to be so locked in to where he's at, even has the right give ups, right? Seems to make make good decisions and just isn't attacking certain times where you would think maybe he should, and he based on what holdings, and he's just avoids a bunch of issues, and he's still got 5 mil sitting in good shape.
Yeah, he's been up and down, but he's been up over his stack he came in with the whole day. He's been battling quite a bit against Despotado on his left, but he's done a good job of hanging in there, and he's still in fine position here in second. All he's got to do is catch this guy in one big pot, and he's right back in the lead. Simon with 5s on the cutoff and about 12 big blinds. This is probably good enough to shove, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious if Simon makes adjustments with 5s, like if he thinks that there's some reason maybe post flop or he could just play, maybe I'll play a little bit or find a little more maneuverability. He does just go for the all in though. Just kind of one of the hands where, yeah, you want to take it down or get in a spot, not get blown off your EV. He does get it up to 1.7 million, 120K. And the
Milosevic folding 9-7 suited on the cutoff there. He's not really trying to play out of position against Despotado too much. And, we've seen him open a wide range of hands the whole final table, but he folds that one on the cutoff, and I think we're sort of seeing him adjust to the new stack reality. Despotado has no such qualms, though. He will open with 8-6 suited, and that's going to take it down.
Who's impressed you the most? I mean, I think Despotado he's chipped up well, and he's been in there. He's made some unconventional plays. Has anyone really stood out? Do you think someone's played above the rim based on what they've been?
I think Milosevic has probably played the best, honestly, but he's all these guys have played well though.
Yeah, tough. Definitely tough.
And Despotato's done some off the wall stuff, but he's mostly made it work. And he's gonna have to win a flip here. If he does win a flip, he'll go in with an overwhelming chip lead, 3-handed, but it doesn't look like that's the outcome we're getting here.
Yep, needs help.
Sven coming out of nowhere to go into second.
Style points.
You're sitting pretty now. You got 2 of the 3 remaining players, and your second place guy just passed mine.
Yeah, it's close though. It's about it's 7 million to 5 million, but yeah,
he also has position on Despotado though, so I like Sven's spot a lot more than Velocevic's here. But yeah, like you said, it is quite close. It can go
it's a good sweat. That was a huge pot. I mean, that was a massive swing right there because that would have been a runaway stack for Despotado. We got in a Sven,
Oh yeah, he would have had 2/3 of the chips 3-handed.
Yeah, would have been a completely different situation. But we are here. We're taking notes, and again, the highlights on YouTube. I do have the knockout hands that go as a video each week, so that is up on my Jeff Gross Poker YouTube channel. We got plenty of stuff as well from Bryan Paris, who does have a course. How tell me a little bit about the Mid Stakes Mastery. How many hours is it? How many videos? Like, what is it specifically, and the price point?
It's a course all about beating mid stakes tournaments online and live, and we've been adding to it for like 4 or 5 years now. So it's well over 40 hours. We do updates every year, and if you buy the course, your grandfather and all the updates. And it just covers all the topics. Our most recent updates are about mystery bounties, ICM bubble and final table level play, heads up, and then we did another one on a deep run that Mike made. So me and Mike just cover everything you can imagine as far as beating mid-stakes tournaments, both live and online, which is kind of our specialty over the years.
Very cool. Got some cockroach jokes. I opened that up. Be on alert, man.
Yeah.
That one caught me off guard.
I should have warned you, man. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to be like, Jeff's got a cockroach in his house. But yeah, I should have warned you.
And does this induce? Is this the one with the ace 4? He's got the ace high on blocks. Doesn't have any pair. Doesn't really have showdown. Does he want to just put him in the blender? But I don't know. I don't think with this pot size, this bet, how much he could actually bet. I don't think he's getting a flush to fold, although it is the variety of the lowest kind. He just calls, so he does just decide to call with that hand, which is interesting.
That's a good sizing. It's tough for him with ace high because it's like you're probably not winning against that size, but like, can you really fold, especially when you block the ace?
Yeah.
But yeah, he could have considered raising as well. Really interesting sizing and interesting river decision.
Yeah, Sven, chip leader. Don't look now. We got 4-handed, and Simon has to be absolutely over the moon. Although he wants more, he did have more chips. He went from 9th, 46,000 to guaranteeing himself 157. So he's had quite a spin up. Reminder, he did get in 3s to kings. Got lucky. Our guy who started in second.
That was Simon.
Simon, I'm saying, yeah, he's got to be thrilled to get at least
Oh
fourth.
yeah, okay, yeah,
He
yeah.
started in ninth, and then we got also our guy Vlada, who started in second, went out, I believe,
Seventh.
So that was
He got real
that
unlucky
is,
though. He had his kings get two paired on the turn.
yep.
The
That
wizard did
hand I'd
want to
love to
fold
look at. That one I
which
want to take a note on with the GTO wizard and just in general too. I think what it said to fold, right? It was saying that you had to fold there, which was pretty
well, I think
interesting.
because the stacks were because there were like 4 shorter stacks at that point, so
Yeah.
it might have not even wanted him to bet the turn, which is kind of crazy. But that's one of the things that happens in these ICM spots, especially when you and your opponent both have like huge risk premiums. You wind up with some really unorthodox checks and folds and things like
Yeah, because
this.
then on that river, if he does have somewhat a draw that misses, maybe he bluffs it and you catch and you don't go broke. And then if he is
Right.
ahead, you
Yeah, I mean,
also
he's
don't
still going
go
to lose a chunk on the river in that exact spot, but he's probably not going to lose
right.
all of it. And then he has a chance to outlast 2 or 3 other stacks.
Yeah, very interesting.
So you see Simon going on with ace-9 here. Sven is going to have a somewhat close decision with king-jack for about 10 big blinds. I'm not sure which way he'll go on this one. Wouldn't surprise me if he folded, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he called.
King Jack
It's
off.
not
Yeah,
even 10 big blinds, right? It's like 8.5 big blinds.
King Jack suited. All right,
Yeah, he's going with it.
go ahead and take the initiative. Can Simon get it going again? Is he going to hold or will he be taken out? The club is
Clubs are good for
good for the
Sven.
runner.
Oh, there's a
Club for
club.
the runners is alive. So now he needs a club, king, or nope.
It could be a king or jack. It's not a club. All right.
Clean, clean. That is a and 2.2 will continue. Four-handed. We will keep it rolling. Bryan, they're asking about the course. So I can drop the link because he did give it to me.
Yeah, we got the link in there. We just did the update, so me and Mike do an update every year. And then there's also like an intro seminar, so if you just want to watch that, see if you'd be interested, check it out. Deputy Totem just ripping jacks here, which I don't think is approved by Wizard, but got through. And that's one of the things is like, especially when you get four-handed, you have to play so many hands. It's hard to like maintain the same level of discipline and focus for that many hands. We got Velosevich with top pair, Deputy Totem with just ace high. Velosevich picks up a gut shot. And Velosevich will make his gut shot. He also has a flush blocker. So we'll see if he wants to go for a small bet here. Maybe he checks and tries to induce a bluff. He does have quite a good hand, but there are some things out there that beat him, so he's not really thrilled to get all the money in or anything. He goes for the block bet, quarter pot, and that is not going to get paid. Check might have worked out for him. I can certainly see Deputy Totem trying to bluff there versus check, but easy to know in hindsight. So we have a couple of decent hands here. Ace-10, obviously, significantly better. And limp fold, that seems fine. Velosevich still has a little more than he started the day with. Doing a good job of hanging in there through different swings and stuff. The thing about tournaments is like the blinds are always going up, so no matter how well you're doing, you know, a hot run by somebody else at the next level can always undo that and more. Just it's really good to save your luck for as late as you can because that's when the biggest swings are going to happen.
So ace-5 suited closing the action. The big blind does call, and we see a pretty active flop. Backdoor flushes for both players and open-ended for the queen-5 suited, ace-5. Queen-ace also would be good, and jacks are in a spot that, you know, just calls. So he's showing us
Interesting to see him
control.
play the jacks this way. This because last time he just jammed. He was in position the previous hand. He just jammed like 35 bigs, and now that he's in the small blind, he decides to just call, which seems kind of topsy-turvy to me.
Yeah, kind of just ran some randomness to the game. Makes it a little harder.
Seems like if anything, you want to go post flop when you're in position, or maybe small 3-bet in position, and then when you're out of position, you'd rather force the action pre. But he is still ahead, but it's getting increasingly dicey for him. Velosevich is sort of walking into the blender here. He's okay. He got the jacks to fold, but he is up against a much better draw from Sven out of the big blind. Sven is not going anywhere just yet. He might even jam here. He's got a bazillion outs.
You think, yeah, jamming would be interesting,
Jamming would be
and
sweet because
you
it puts Velocevic in a really tough spot relative to Simon's stack. This is a great combo draw. He does not find the
wow,
jam this time. So now if Velocevic finds a third barrel, he's going to win this hand.
wow, what a river, just a brick. There's no 7, no deuce, no ace,
I would have
no
liked the jam
queen.
there on the turn, but I'm not sure what the wizard solution is. But it seems like if you want to have like this is about as good of a combo draw as you're going to have. I guess ace high has some showdown value, but now he's going to have a hard time actually realizing it. We'll see. Maybe Velocevic will give up.
Or does he think that maybe I play 5-7 this way, and or that I'm trapping and now betting? I don't know. This is definitely a bizarre hand. Like
So that
to
might
get
lead. I don't know. He doesn't need to, but he might. Yeah,
his
5-7 got there, but it was already there.
right. Interesting.
So
Wow. Wow, this is a very, very cool hand, and I don't know what DB is gonna do here.
if he shoves, he's the biggest hero.
Yeah, he deserves that too.
No,
He's gonna go that
he
way. So
didn't
all
win the
right,
show.
creative way. Sven finds a way to win the pot after all. Interesting, very interesting.
Might have saved him the hand if he checked. He might have got shoved on. That lead might have saved him the hand, but maybe not. It might have just gone check check. I don't know.
That was a peculiar hand. Very cool.
Yeah, and then Deppy Totem had the best hand by miles pre and on the flop. Oh, not by miles on the flop. He was still ahead on the flop and wound up folding the turn because he played it passively. So Sven pulled away, winning a big one there. Sven has middle pair, betting small on this texture. I think this texture is generally more of like a checker bet big sort of texture, but small is going to do the trick. It's a great turn for Sven. Matson was looking for some backdoors, but did not hit any of them. So another small bet will close this one out if he decides to make it. He could also go into check call mode. I'd imagine well, I don't know. This is an interesting one. Blind versus blind, like you were saying earlier, it's so intricate. It's really hard to play these spots right. Two bets, going to take it down. Sven, not quite at 8 million, but real close.
Yeah, in good position here. He's got a good seat too. Got
folded 10-8 suited on the
position.
button there. I think I would have liked a flat in position against, now that he's the big stack against Deppy Totem, but that's one of the hardest parts of MTTs is like you're constantly in these new situations because Sven's been last or second to last for the vast majority of this four-handed, and now he's suddenly in the lead, and that requires a dramatic shift in ranges and mindset. I mean, I'm not positive that he should have flatted with 10-8 suited there, but I think it would have made a lot of sense to go post-flop in position against Deppy Totem with him. And Velocevic is going to get jammed on here, I think. No, just call.
Wow. Calls and flops bottom set versus a gut shot with ace high. And this is also could be
seems like a great spot to jam with deuces, especially with the stack. But, flopping a set's even better.
Yeah, and this is one where he's definitely going to be
pulling it. Wow. If it wasn't a spade, that would be a guaranteed all in, but it might still be. I mean, he might just jam now to protect his. I mean, if he's up against a flush, he's toast. But if he just calls, he's going to have a lot of bad rivers. A lot of bad rivers.
Wow, this is a sick hand here.
There's the shove and the call. So
wow, what a nasty hand. DV with the straight. Can he fade the board pair? Yes.
And there's one of those bad rivers. If you just called the turn, then I'm probably going to check in this case, but that river is really ugly for you with ace three if you just call the turn.
Wow.
So
wow.
DV.
So sick. So sick. That is gonna that really levels things out. 3 million, 7.7, 5.5.
That's a disaster for Simon. And if he just shoved pre, he would have just taken it down. But
Yeah,
It's tough.
that was sick. To flop though, flop a set and lose there, pretty nasty. That was
That was
actually
very unlucky for sure.
that was
Yeah.
a sick hand. And DV back to work here with
Yeah, he's back in there.
160 gonna get it. Yeah, we're this is wide open still.
See if he can go back to back.
Yeah, he's back in good shape now. 6 million. Things kind of got a little away from him. He was at the 8 down. Now he's back in the mix. He's got the composure. Sven though has got 7.5 the chip lead, and Simon's still in it, but trying to find a way to get back over 3 million. He did get to 3 million for a bit, and we will. Yeah, completely new table dynamic. Great point in the chat. This is a completely shifted. Jack 3 suited gonna limp, and Milosevic with one of the worst hands, 3-8. Does he want to ever raise to 360,
He
400?
might. He
360,
does,
a
yeah.
small
The one
raise. And
problem is that Simon doesn't have much risk premium. He's short by so much that he basically just has to go for the gusto, but he does have a pretty awkward hand here. We'll see what he does with it. And yeah, Milosevic is not passing up on much opportunity cost by turning his hand into a bluff here. Like,
I mean, that's high level though, to get the limp jam in and know that your opponent maybe just that's something where you probably have some notes on a player, right? Where you're aware that they take those spots with airball hands versus short stack limps. Like
that
that's like
is
a
not a
very
standard limp jam by any means,
yeah.
but it's really well placed there by Simon.
Yep. Really, again, just sort of next level stuff. And this is problematic for him if he were to jam. He does get out of the way, and
Passed on
threes
it.
versus king queen now, and threes are in the lead on a scary
Very
board.
draw heavy board though. A lot
Yeah,
of gut shots, a lot of straight draws. He does throw in the check on the flop. I was just about to say he might check.
has
And
a
Sven's
club,
gonna be pretty happy to just try to take this to showdown, I think.
and threes are
He's
good. King
got the
queen
best hand.
is going to check back quickly, and that's good news for him as we see the blinds keep going up, and then Deputy him throws a bucket of water using those emojis, those gifs, all
One of the
the
best parts about GG, man. I love those things.
they do. They just got all the right stuff. A little more gamification, kind of fun. And five's gonna jam. 8-10 suited, playable hand, not for the all-in though. And we see you guys hitting the thumbs up. We got 2,000 still watching. It's exciting. We have flip-flops and power here. And DV started chip leader. He is in second. Deputy has had a run of the ages. He was actually an 8th to start, and he was chip leader.
Yeah.
Simon got to 3
He was
million
chip leader
third
for a
night.
while, like a long time.
Yeah, we are not
And
seeing
he's
chalk
sort
today.
of come off the rails a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I guess the only really mistakes he made, he flatted those jacks. I'm pretty sure he should have 3-bet. He shoved those other jacks. I didn't love either of those hands. But the deuces, I mean, if you don't shove pre, then post flop, you're just going to get screwed. There's nothing you can do. But
yeah.
I did think it was a good spot for him to shove pre.
All right, ace 5 suited, 9-10 closing. The action going to fold. Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to ladder now, which makes sense. I think he wants to outlast Simon before he
a bit, yeah,
takes
40
risks.
42 and a half, 43,000. So it's a big,
I mean, that's
it
a
is
pretty
four
big score
buy-ins
right there just for laddering one more spot, you know?
Yeah, listen, you come in 8, your stacks were 60K effectively. 59 is what 8th gets. And right now, if you get third, you're getting 200. You already gotten 100 more basically than what 8th was. So very good result. The shot clock could come into play. We're still a ways away. Simon has used a lot.
Simon is using a lot of it, and Sven is getting a little low too. But Deputatum is not. He's hardly any. He's been just snap acting every hand, and that's one benefit of that is that he does have a lot of his clock left.
For sure.
This might just be a walk. If there were other short stacks, you might see him shove a hand like this for ICM pressure. But since Simon isn't last by so much, there's a lot less incentive for him to shove trash hands like this. He goes for the 2.5x, which is a sort of reasonable in between option. Not going to work this time, but Simon should just get it in and not waste his clock. If he does make a comeback and get heads up or 3-handed, he's going to really want those seconds back. Going for the not all in 3-bet here, which seems a little fancy to me, but that's okay. Jacks again. Simon, I think will want to pass this one versus cutoff. He would definitely jam versus button. He might jam versus this guy on the cutoff too, but I think he's going to be in trouble if he does jam. Yeah, he goes for the jam. I think against this player, I can certainly see it. In terms of like in a vacuum with this stack distribution, I don't know if you should jam this exact hand here. But against this player, I can't fault him. And
that is conclusive.
Yeah, that's the ball game. Okay.
Quad jacks again.
Throw a fourth one in there for good measure.
That is down to 3. Great game from
quads full of 6s. Why not?
That is strong. That's a strong finish, and we will take our podium out in the Brazil BSOP top 3 made trophies here. Not a trophy. We are looking only for wins, final table stats, and see if we're gonna have a new winner or a repeat. And D. Velasevich has got 3 titles on 4 tries. He is looking to get his 4th in 5. Debutatum is a new debutant, if you will. He is early and does not have a title. And then Sven Anderson does have 1 final table. 11 final tables and 1 win. So he has got a title. So we are either going to see a repeat or a new winner. We have a chance are wide open. We don't know. It's very close to call. 7 million, 5 million, 5 million wide open right here. We will get the next part of the giveaway going for you guys as well. Get that up here. It'll be number 2.
That'd be hot. I'm going for the min raise here against the biggest stack. I don't really care for that. I think it should be limping a lot, and if you do raise, you should 3.5x or something. I don't think it's a good spot to be min raising. Mystery hand.
The mystery hand. The crew. We got one of the best teams of all time here at GG on the GG Millions, and they are been selective. They came with the nice mystery hand. So let's see what happens here. Jack 8. See a raise from Sven.
Imagine we see a call.
Well, okay. Hello, B Paris. Let's kick it up a little to Jack 8 off. And we got ourselves a mystery hand, and it's starting off mysterious. As again, I think you were expecting call, me too. Wasn't expecting raise.
I mean, I figured the hand continued somehow, but I certainly wasn't expecting a raise. Okay. So Velasevich with middle pair. Sven with the mystery hand.
And he's coming out betting. He gets the 8. He's got a heart. Sven, hands. What are you starting? Let's start thinking what he can have. Definitely could have some suited broadways. Could have some. Does he have pairs ever though? As played, is he going to play, 9s like this something or no? I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd imagine a good number of the pairs format show up pre. Maybe some of them don't. Yeah. Okay.
All right. 4.2 in the middle, less than SPR of 1, and Sven has the action on him. Let's see what he does and how much he bets. And I'll tell you what, any type of bet, you're not going to love it if you're D. Velasevich. Let's see if he goes small, like 1.2 or 3 or something, or if he just asks for all of it. If he checks, I'm sure he'll check back, but I don't think so. He's going small. We did see him do this as a bluff before, and he
did it with the ace-5 of hearts.
He is going to call.
King, queen of spades.
Ace-9 hits.
I got too fancy. He just had it. All right. All right.
2. So a little misstep from the Velasevich, who did get bit put.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be taking all these light spots, sometimes it is going to bite you. I don't know about the river call. I mean, you're not beating much other than the king, queen of spades I just mentioned. I mean, you're going to get a good price, but you're really just up against a pile of like ace-x suiteds, and it's hard. So Anderson with 4s, he might just put it all in here. No, he goes for the call. Plays it safe. It's a little much. I guess it's 30 big blinds. I thought it was slightly less. For 30, it's too much.
All right, we're going to roll the second giveaway again. You're absolutely right. This is a little too much.
He has a lot of stack leverage against Debutatum, but there's no reason to open yourself up to that much risk. I think for like 25 you can shove, but for 30 it's probably too much. Even for 25, maybe it's well.
All right, second keyword giveaway again. Once is nice, twice is a little bit much. 3 is overkill, but you can definitely put it in there, and we will have the team check our winner. It's our second giveaway, number 2 of 3. Keyword GGWSOP space Bahamas. Insert your GGPoker username. If you do not have a GGPoker username, gift it to a friend, give it to a friend, split it with a friend. But you got a chance to get in there, and we are also the X giveaway. That is pinned on Jeff Gross Poker, and I will get that link. I'm just going to put it there. It's 50 cash. Retweet plus guess wins. Don't need to be right. See a lot of you coming in now. I'm going through some good guesses there today.
Ooh, Velocevich has hit a disaster turn here.
Yeah, this could be night.
Yeah, this is ugly for him.
Yeah, stack to pot ratio 1. What a board. 9.
He blocks
9,
the 8
6,
too,
2.
so it's less likely his opponent has 10-8, which just got there. Yeah, he might just be done here. I'd imagine Sven is going to go for all of it, but he might throw in a small bet again.
I think it's SPR1 here. I think he goes for it all, because even like if your opponent's 7-8 something, there's some hands that like maybe just has to call, or you hero call. I wonder if DV can get away. I mean, it would be a pretty incredible fold. Did turn the queen.
It's tough with this combo.
For all of it.
I think this hand might even be a better call than like Queen Jack or Queen 10, just because you unblock the straight draws that missed, and you block the one that hit. But it is tough for him. He's probably feeling like he's toasted here, but I don't know if he can find a fold with this hand.
Does he fold, chat? 1, yes. 2, no. 3, maybe so. He just gets away, and he is going to be delighted when he sees that. Whatever happens, he is in, and he's rocking the so sick D Negs emoji as the blinds are up. That is sick as well. And Sven is feeling good with a min raise here, and he is in good shape.
With this thing, man. You're gonna
Queens
double me up here on the dinner wins.
I will say one thing I've liked about Deputin's game is that he's switched gears. Like, he really has kind of come at different times, different things, different speeds. He's sort of slowed it down. He's shown pure aggression, and then he's kind of made even tight folds at times. But as you said, I think also he's very wary of the ladder. And right now he's in another ladder position where he's healthily above the next player, and the jumps are significant. You're talking about 56,000 if he doesn't just get in the way here. So he is
This is actually close for Velocevich. I mean, this hand is not very good, but you have to expect to be close to flipping against a lot of your opponent's shoves. Wouldn't surprise me if he found the call here. It's got to be right on the borderline. He correctly gets away again. See if he shoves the King 10-0 here. He does.
Yeah, ace 3, King 10. We're playing for some rolls. Can he spin it up? Made a good fold. King 10. That's going to be hard. Time. Running clubs. That's part of it. The club for the chop needs green. No, another ace in his face. DV, what a performance. I mean, Cayman chip leader will settle for the podium, taking another 200K out of the GG Millions purse. So great performance. Won't be the win. And now money on the table, 70,000 we're playing for here. 70 stacks, 7 buy-ins. Sven, can he finish it off versus the unknown Brazilian? Can he do it? Let's see here. And we got it the second winner. This could be over quickly. You just don't know. So we're gonna pick the second winner. We're gonna put that there, and then we're gonna get a third winner. And I got to get the winner on X as well, guys. Pin tweet Jeff Gross Poker. Guess who wins? Retweet. Running out of time for that. Here is your second winner. Let's get up to 250. 10 more thumbs up. We got 1,800 watching, finishing it off here. Been a pleasure. Jeff Gross, B Paris Poker in the building. Last warm up before the Bahamas. I will be there. Hope you're there. Let me know. Type a B in the chat if you're going to be there. And we will get the third giveaway queued up for you now. And that is a congrats. 2 or 3. $50 GG ticket. That is Jason Parker 8464. Appreciate you coming in.
So Deputy Totem's kind of making one of the classic mistakes here, heads up, which is when you have 20 big blinds and less, it's very hard to play too many raises. And he's raised both hands so far with like kind of trashy hands. You want to play more limps, as we see Sven doing. Because if you wind up raise folding at 20, you're losing 10% of your stack, and you have to play so many hands that it becomes very, very difficult to support too many raise folds. So you wind up just playing limps with almost everything. He does have a hand this time, though. He has tens. Sven with Jack 7. That is a backdoor straight draw on an overcard. He is going to correctly get away from it.
You're welcome, Jason. Good luck to you, my friend. Marcelo Aziz last year took a free roll GG ticket to second place, I believe 4.6 million, 6 million to the winner. And wow. Some friends I had there, actually Mustafa Knit final table. I think he got like 3 million, or Liv Brie also final table. There were some other big names at the final table. Pretty crazy tournament and events last year. And it is going to be a good one down there. So good luck if anyone's playing or has pieces of that as we get the third keyword. We'll go with Paradise. Let's do it. Paradise, Bahamas. Why not go with that old? Just put it out there. See who gets it. Good luck. Insert your GGPoker username. And there we go. That is the keyword. Giveaway 3 of 3 for a $50 GGPoker ticket. Best of luck. And we see Queen 7, Jack 6. 6 is a pair. Queen 7 suited, monster draw. This could be a big pot as the river bricks out.
He's going to go for another bet, but it doesn't really make sense for him to have an ace here. I think his range is heavily weighted towards busted draws. Sven does make the fold, though. And he confirms that by showing. One of the most interesting transitions in MTTs for me is like three-handed to heads up, because three-handed is this very heavy ICM game. It's all about laddering. There's like a ton of ICM pressure. And then as soon as you flip into heads up, it just totally changes. Now it's just all chip EV. You're just playing for all the money. The incentives are sort of dramatically shifted like immediately. And navigating that transition is one of the most interesting parts of MTTs, I think.
He says just what the doctor ordered, up to 5 mil. There's a chance, but how big? Oh, he just calls. Okay. Takes it high variance and actually flops a pretty fantastic spot against, if you're going to trap aces, you get your opponent to 8 no good, 4 no good, needs a 5. You have him on a gut shot, and he's telling a story now.
So we saw Sven make his first raise of the match, and now that we're at 30, he immediately transitioned from limping to raising, which kind of goes back into what I was saying. He does call the flop. Now he's drawing dead, so Deputy Totem is... Maybe he's going for the trap here, which I like a lot. I think the ace should benefit Sven more than him in terms of ranges pre-flop. Of course, it doesn't actually in this spot. Sven's got to be very tempted to bluff now.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this is like one of the more well-designed traps. Does he just call? Can he do it? Does he have it in him? I hope so.
You gotta just call. You can't raise the turn. Yeah, he does just call. Bad river for Sven, but he might follow through. His opponent
I think this is actually, this river is sort of nice for Sven. I mean, and for Deputy, because like in theory, he's got 8 high. I think he's getting like, he thinks okay, my opponent doesn't have a 7. The thing is, I think he's trying to think, does he fold a 6? He also has like somehow 8, 9, or some other draws.
He's gonna wind up bluffing again. I think he has 8 high, like he said.
Yeah.
There's no flush draws on the turn though, so there's a little bit less incentive. I think you're mostly targeting the 6 if you bet again, and it's got to be tempting.
Does he go for the jugular? No, goes for the
very small. So he's just trying to fold out like 10-9 and stuff.
The snap jam. I love this snap jam. That's epic to just snap rip it with the aces full. Beautiful.
Well, you can see the difference in time banks. Deputy Totem has really been playing very fast the whole final table, which I thought was kind of a mistake earlier, but it's benefiting him greatly now because he has an immense time bank, and Sven only has a little bit. Wizard wants to check the flop there. That's interesting. I guess it's so disconnected. Sven picking up flush draw. Hits 2 pair. And Deputy Totem will check the river. Fortunate for him that he checked, because he would have been in trouble if he'd bet again. Wizard actually wanted Sven to lead the river. The thing about heads up, that the solutions are so complicated, it's like impossible to remember it all. Because there's just so many hands you have to account for on both sides. Sven with a gut shot and bottom pair. I don't think we'll see him fold, and he hits his gut shot. So Sven is running hot. Deputatum got off to a good start, but Sven is certainly not folding this river. Maybe deciding if he wants to raise. He does raise.
Wow. And you know what?
See if he gets paid here. I mean, it's a little thin, but he might get paid.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting how Deputatum views this spot. It is heads up. It's hard to make hands, but you have two pair. It's a 4-liner. Some draws missed. Does he think that Sven's gonna bluff him?
Deputatum is not really the folding type, so it's possible that he finds a call here. But this is the first time he's actually gone to the tank that we've seen. He hasn't really thought about
that
it.
Clock. He's earned decisions. A thought. He's earned a decision. He's taken a ton of time.
Yeah, he has earned it. He's certainly banked it up, and now's a good time to use it. Oh, he made the call. Disaster for him. Sven has the straight.
We got 1,700 on. We got 255. Let's get to 300. I'll announce that last winner. Good luck to everyone. Again, we saw what someone did with $0, a ticket for free in the over 4 million, 4.6 last year. As we'll see what you can do with 50. You never know. Good luck out there. Again, at Bryan, I forget we've done our podcast, which that is in the newsletter today on Substack. I put that link out earlier. You guys can just search that, Jeff Gross Poker Substack. But how did you start your poker? Was it off of like $50? Did you deposit? Was it free rolls? When
$40 transfer from a friend back in 2003. I paid him back pretty quick, and I never had to deposit again for a long time after that. But it was so easy back then, man. All you needed to know was like starting hand ranges, and you could just crush. Oh, this might be it. Bottom two against top pair. And nowadays people are a lot better. But back in the day, man, nobody knew anything. Snap jam. Yep.
All right. 6-10, Jack 7. Jack 7 needs help fast.
Oh,
there it is.
The
no waiting. Now needs a fade, a 10 or a 6. So we'll keep this thing rolling.
There's the help. Oh, he's got some 4 outs now. Okay, another 7.
2 sevens. All the 7s. I called
the snap jam on the. I think he's supposed to just call the. I mean, he's probably supposed to stack off, but he's not supposed to jam the flop in position. But the way he's been playing, I thought he was just going to snap jam the flop, and he did indeed.
I'll tell you what, $70,000 difference. Sven could taste the win. He was in good shape. Had to fade it. Couldn't quite do it. 262.
That's so frustrating when you're playing heads up, man, when that happens. But you got to just stay in the game. I mean, he was in this exact stack spot like 5 hands ago, so he can do it again. But it is tough. You know, you gotta really keep your head in the game the whole time, no matter what the swings of fortune are.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true. That is a great point. 17-17 watching right now. Ace Queen 6-4, and he is bluffing Ace Queen with the Ace of Hearts. Does he want to call here with the Ace High?
He might make the call. I mean, all the straight draws missed, and he blocks the heart. Sven is running a little bit low on time make. If this match goes too much longer, that is going to become an issue for him. Playing heads up for 70K with 5-second time banks is very challenging. He goes for the raise, which is going to be the same result.
Interesting. Crazy stuff. All right, 260, hit the thumbs up. Must hit the thumbs up. Must be subscribed to win. Blinds are up 100K, 200K. We'll keep it playing here. 4.8 to 12.6. So not a crazy difference. Pretty fairly even. I mean, it is a nice advantage for Sven, but one double and he's out chipped by a decent little bit. So it is an advantage. He does have a sizable advantage, but King Queen for
Sven going for the raise there at 25 effective, getting punished. I think at 25 you can work in some raises, and hands like 8-4 suited are pretty good to raise with. All right, so we're gonna have a raise and a call here. No help for Sven.
Yeah, Jack 3 suited, Ace 6 suited, and he's going to come out betting. Jack 3, no backdoor, gets out of the way, no backdoor flush draw. Keyword is underway. We will have that third winner for you very shortly. Gotta get that up. We'll get a few more of you. 273, a lot of thumbs up there. Appreciate that. I hope you guys have had a good time. Again, you can give B Paris Poker a follow on the socials. Also his course, Mid Stakes Mastery. That link we have put a few times. And I will not forget about X, my man, Finn D Chef in the chat. We have a lot of you coming in there. I appreciate you guys hitting the retweets, engaging with the post today. There's some retweets too if you want to take a look at there was winning hand clips up there, you guys. I appreciate when you guys say hi, check in across the board as we see a nice flop, 5-7 suited backdoor flush draw, 7-5-9, or I'm sorry, yeah, the straight draw there. So he needs a 4 or a 9. Picks up the clubs, queen 10 now. Kind of uncomfortable. You're in there with queen high. You actually do have the best hand. You're
he
not
blocks
thinking
both flush draws, so he might bet again, but he's not getting a fold.
Right. Yeah, it's tricky.
He might get jammed on if he bets it. He does not bet again. And he gets jammed on anyway. All right, well.
All right. 6.6, 10.9, getting thinner.
Oh boy. This could be something.
As ace 5 and 9s. Oh, it could very well be something. This is looking like.
I mean, I don't think he's going to call a 4-bet shove, but if Sven 4-bets not all in, he might convince himself to 5-bet shove. Or if Sven just calls, it might get bluffed post-flop or something.
Yeah, I mean, Sven, obviously 9's massive hand, queen 7 off the computer hand. That's a dead middling hand. He's going to rip it, and, you know, ace 5 off, generally not the hand you want to just call it off with, as it has a lot of good properties to be the aggressor and rip it and not call. So he does end it there. Interesting decision point from Sven. I think that's pretty standard, but maybe could take an exploit.
Yeah, it's a standard shove, but against this particular player, maybe you want to make an adjustment and do one of the other options.
Okay, ace 4 pairs, 9-6. Not much.
Can't blame him for shoving either.
Yeah, no, pretty. I think that's the standard course of action. A good makes sense. Just again, maybe in that spot could exploit a bit different.
Well, Sven still has the best hand here, but he's got to be worried about the king and the 10 now. Although the 10 less so because the turn got checked. Mostly just the king. I could see Sven finding the call here. His opponent is certainly going to be over bluffing this spot, and he's not getting the worst price. He does find the call.
All right, ace 4. 2.9 going his way, going to separate back into above a 3-1 lead now. 14, 13.5.
And heads up is where any like leaks that you have are going to get magnified. It's just so many hands you have to navigate that if you're doing something too much, or you know, seasoned pro like Sven is going to hone in on it and take advantage. Raise and call. This is sort of an action flop. Sven has top pair against overcards and an open-ended. I don't think he's going to raise here. I think he's just going to call. Some players might be tempted to raise here to like protect their hand, but if you do that, you wind up either getting it in flipping or crushed. So even though it's kind of uncomfortable, I think you want to just call here. He's thinking about it, though. He does go for the raise, and it looks like we're going to run it here. It's a coin flip. I will defer to Sven on that decision if he wants to jam, and it must be a jam.
And yeah, 8 deuce. He's going to the river here with a big favor, and that is actually. I gotta say, we're picking the last winner. We're doing on the side. And that's it, man. Spend 352. Beat Paris, second title. How did he do it? How could he get it done? What a performance. He kind of was like a dark horse out of nowhere. He just shot up and got the chips. How did he get that done?
Well, he just held on until he got four-handed, and then he won a couple flips and just really took it from there. I thought he played great.
Well, I knew it was coming soon. We could taste it. I did get the third winner. I'm going to go ahead and put that winner in the chat. I appreciate everyone and spend 7-1. I picked them. Beat Paris. I'm stocking up a little bit of dinner credit. If you bet it in the client, 7-1 odds. Pretty nice day's work if you were to able to fire that bet, as we see Sven Anderson gets the win. Very well played. Deputy Adam, got to give him 8th place, takes second. D. Velasevich was the favorite, came in chip leader, won last week, took 3rd this week. Ton of money he's sucked up. Simon Matson started in 9th and got 4th. So today was a story of the deeper stacks progressing and grabbing some money, kind of showing you it's never over till it's over. There's no guarantees. 2nd place went out 7th. Any other takeaways? Anyone else really impressed you today?
Well, the long shots performed really well, and that sort of shows you how, even if you come in short, you just have to hit a little hot rush of cards and get there. But yeah, I thought Deputy Tottenham's style was really interesting. He had a few leaks for sure, but he made it work. And he got the heads up, which is a very impressive performance. But I thought for the most part, everyone played really well, and I was Velasevich sort of fell apart a bit at the end there with that Jack-8 hand calling on the river, but he was getting a great price on the river, and he's going to beat a few bluffs. So I guess I can't say it was a mistake.
Yeah,
he played great most of the time.
Very well said. I mean, just a fun final table. That King, Queen, King 6 set the tone early for us. I think that was electric. You rarely see that type of aggression, 9-handed, willing to put it on the line, and really told us a story. And he had 8 million. Velasevich had it for a period of time, was a big chip leader. Couldn't quite finish it off, but did take 3rd. And I thought, again, an epic final table. Congrats to all our winners. Just put the 3rd winner up. Was caught there watching the action, getting our winner on the side, as I knew we were getting sort of toward the end here. And I got to say, everyone, including Bryan, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of the GG Millions, the biggest action every week. We like to call it the Champions League of online poker. That's every week, same time, same place. Tuesdays now, 1 hour earlier in the U.S. daylight savings. That starts at 1:15 Eastern. We do the pregame show. We have the show next week. Felipe Boykanovsky should be our guest. He was under the weather this week, and I hopefully will be deep in a PLO tournament in the Bahamas. If not, I will see you here either way. We will have the shows, and we will keep on moving forward on an amazing year we've had here for the GG Million. So again, thanks to everyone. Hope you had a great holiday last week. Enjoy your time, Bryan. Enjoy your time with the family, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much for coming, man. And the Mid-Stakes Mastery, please, guys, check that out. I'll put the link one more time at the end. That is a course and where you guys can find, and Bryan is one of the main instructors, I believe, with Wasserman and some other content. You guys said you just updated. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We just did an update like last month, so it's a bunch of new stuff in there.
Awesome. I'm going to put that link here. I'm literally copying it, and I will throw that in the chat. And again, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate everyone. Bryan, thanks again. Have a great day.
Thanks for the invite, man. It's always fun. Appreciate it.